Welcome everybody to Tabletop to Keyboard. I am Dustin, not echoing this time. And as I was saying before, this is Horror in Huttenberg. It's my Zweihander RPG campaign. It is the sequel to Terror in Treefell, which I ran last year. We have a new cast, we have new characters, but this is somewhat a continuation of that story, and they're going to get to, if they don't know what happened in Terror in Treefell, they will get a chance to kind of explore some of that, plus deal with their own new storyline that I have in place for them. So, welcome everyone, thank you for coming. I have with me 3 of my 5 players. Lindy and Hope could not be here today. They had prior arrangements, so you will get to meet them in 2 weeks when they return. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and do a little round table, just introduction of who you are as a player, and then tell everyone a little bit about who your character is. Chuck, we're going to start with you.
Yes, that sounds great. I am Chuck with Defenders of Kobold. I'm actually one of the resident GMs for Grim and Perilous Studios. So I know a little bit about Zweihander. We stream all sorts of stuff over on DOK. You can just look up Defenders of Kobold, you'll find me. But today, I am playing Ivan the Smuggler. He is that Russian with this speaking way he does. He's got he's got his own rules. He calls them his rules of the road. And that's what he lives his life by. He's a lifelong petty criminal, trying to make the world a better place for petty criminals everywhere by trying to enforce this code of honor for everyone. So yeah.
All right. And we'll go ahead and move down the overlay from here. So Jeff, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Jeff, as mentioned. I'm part of the Tabletop to Keyboard crew with Dustin. You see me on pretty much everything we stream. So whether that's Wisdom Check or, our weekly, Pathfinder 2 campaign or 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, our video game night, all the stuff. I'm usually on there. And you are going to have a real quick knowledge that I have no clue what I'm doing when it comes to Zweihander. So this is my first time playing. So there's going to be a lot of us that have no experience playing the game, and I'm one of those people. But I am going to be playing Wolfram. He is a dwarf. His family came from a very noble upbringing, very scholastic upbringing. So they were writers and philosophers and, making war engines and all kinds of cool stuff. But my character decided he wanted to step away from the life of luxury and become a cultural anthropologist and step away to go ahead and investigate the life of criminals in the city. And so he is embedding himself deep within the belly of criminal activity in and around his area, where he is taking a vow of poverty until he is done writing his book. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
All right, so last but not least here at the table today is Alex. Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your character.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm with the Untold Stories Project, and I am a longtime guest of TT2KB, and I'm so happy to finally be here at Tabletop to Keyboard playing a full-on game with them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a writer and a professional DM, and I just sort of wander where the nerd hobby takes me. As for my character, I, just like Jeff, have never played Zweihander before, so I am going to be Asher Williamson, another big Russian guy. I was recruited to go to military school, and I had accident with horse. Now I have one hand, and I'm muscle for a gang. I'm a simple guy.
All right, so that is starting our cast of characters. You'll get to meet the other two characters in 2 weeks when Lindy and Hope return, and I assure you they are no more lawful than these two. So, all these characters were generated 2 weeks ago here on stream, and if you didn't catch it, Zweihander does random character generation. All your stats, your attributes, your professions, all that stuff is rolled random. And so these guys and the two gals who aren't with us tonight, they created all their characters, and through the magic of chaos, they came up with basically a band of criminals. So these band of criminals, they've been working together for a little while, and they're finding themselves drawn to the city of Huttenberg, if you read in the intro, on an anonymous tip that there is the potential for what is being dubbed the heist of a lifetime. And it almost sounds too good to be true, but you know from what you've been told it's a hard target. You know it's going to be guarded by reeves, it's coming from Treefell back to Huttenberg. And you've been given enough intel that there's going to be 2 wagons worth of goods. These wagons are headed to the Huttenberg Academy of Natural Philosophy. And they're marked.
Gonna go well.
They're marked as being attention to a man by the name of Bravo von Helfrich.
Okay, seems there's a place to write notes on the sheet.
And the last bit of information you were given is that if you are to acquire any of the goods from these wagons, that the person willing to pay you each 2 gold crowns each if you were to bring those crates to the Hobbled Horsey, which is a pub in Huttenberg. All the other details, they're of course going to leave up to you.
So, we gotta go hijack. We must go steal these 2 wagons. Going to Academy. Who are they addressed to again?
Bravo von Helfrich.
Bravo.
Jeff, would you like to you'll make the first roll of the game.
Oh.
So on your character sheet, you'll see a list of difficulties there in the center of the character sheet. It should be set to standard. This is actually going to be a relatively routine rumor.
Routine rumor.
And that is because you used to be in the aristocracy.
That's true. That is me. You want me to click on a rumor then? Is that what I'm doing?
Yep. Click rumor on your sheet and it will roll it. And we'll quickly go over here. All right. So, you see you have a 45 fellowship. You see you have 10 for your rumor dot. You have 10 for the difficulty. So that makes your target 65. You rolled a 92. Zweihander is a roll under game. So you have to roll under that target to succeed. You rolled over, so you have failed.
Yes.
Now,
I don't know anything about
in Zweihander, there is a mechanic called Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
You guys currently out there in the chat can't see them. When we move over to the Roll20 screen, they will be visible. But the party currently has 6 fortune points. That's 1 for each player in the game. Even though there's only 3 tonight, I'm giving them the full party's worth of 5, plus 1 for the GM me. Whenever you use a fortune, it lets you do one of 3 things. You can use it to re-roll a failed skill chest. If you don't want to re-roll your skill test, you can hold on to those fortunes, and you can use them to maximize a damage die, or you can maximize a chaos die to inflict injury. Or, and this is the one people don't use it enough of in my opinion, you can use it to purchase an extra AP in combat. And we'll get to those combat rules and stuff here in a little bit, but just to explain to you, Jeff, you have the option now because you failed. You can re-roll if you want to spend a fortune. Now, if you spend the fortune, it becomes a misfortune point, and I, the GM, get it.
You know what'll be fun is if bad things happen to us. So let's go ahead and use fortune and re-roll it.
Okay, so go ahead and re-roll.
Really?
And you went from bad to worse. You went from 65 to 98. So you've spent a fortune. I now have one misfortune. And for those of you who are in the chat, in the center of the screen there, you'll see the Wheel of Misfortune. It says 200 bits for a fortune, 500 for a misfortune. So if you would like to take his misfortune and turn it back to fortune, you can do so with 200 bits. If you would like to go ahead and just start giving me more misfortune and taking away fortune away from them, you can go ahead and spend 500 bits, and I will go ahead and start flipping fortune back and forth. But there will never be more than 6 total between fortune and misfortune. The 1,000 points for fate, we'll get to that when that becomes important. But Jeff, you've rolled your fortune. It didn't work. You don't recognize the name, but you feel like you should recognize the name.
We're off to an auspicious start, fellas.
Off to a great start. So the name doesn't seem to mean anything to you. Chuck, why don't... You're a smuggler, right?
Yep.
Do you have education?
Oh.
Or only folklore?
Let me take a look. I have neither.
You don't have either?
No.
Alex, does your dragoon have education or folklore?
I do not. I have rumor.
You just have rumor? I'll give you a rumor roll as well.
All right, roll better than me.
You can do it. I believe in you.
We will see.
We missed the entire
So
adventure right off the bat.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't set your difficulty.
Oh,
so
crap.
set your difficulty and then roll again. Oh, your fellowship's only 29. You're not starting out with a very good base stat for this.
I'm not. It's a modifier of 10.
Yeah, when you can either put it in the modifier when it asks you, or you can put in the okay, yeah, you put the modifier in, which is fine. Up on your character sheet, there's actually little dots that are red. You can click which difficulty it is. About 3/4 of the way up on the sheet.
Oh, I see.
So the ranges for difficulty will always be somewhere between trivial, which is plus 30, and arduous, which is minus 30. So it's always going to land in one of those dots. So I give you the title of the difficulty, challenging routine, and you just select it before you roll. You don't have to keep plugging the numbers in each time. It just makes it a little simpler.
That seems really nice.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about Zweihander's roll 100 mechanics, is you always know your percent chance of success before you make a roll. So
Case bad.
you didn't make it though. So you've never heard of this either. This is all new to you guys. You're clearly not from the area. So you are well aware, and I will move you guys over to the map. You are well aware that Huttenberg sits at a crossroads between Old Vorburg Road and the Emperor's Road. And if you take the Emperor's Road into Huttenberg, it becomes the Mill Road that takes you north to Treefell. Those of you who have been in the area are well aware that Treefell was destroyed about a year ago, after what they believe was a meteor strike.
Okay.
Since then, there's been excavations to Treefell. They've been coming back with all sorts of esoteric goods, and all sorts of rumors have spread about that a lot of the things they found were rather unnatural. So it does not surprise you then that these carts might be going to the Academy of Natural Philosophy. You know that there's only one road, and that's again the Mills Road from Treefell. And you're well aware that Huttenberg is thought of as an industrial complex. It's kind of a place where industry and art kind of meet. Valandria is the capital. That's where the Emperor's throne is, and it's very artsy. It's where much of the aristocrats would come from. This, however, Huttenberg is a much smaller city than Valandria. It kind of sits in the shadow, and historically speaking, its importance is that this is where all the siege equipment was originally made that helped defeat the orcs hordes 60 years ago. And all the lumber that was needed for those siege equipment came from Treefell. So the tiny little village of Treefell was super important during the war, and then after the war, Treefell went into decline because nobody needed the lumber anymore. So the mills shut down, the town went into mostly ruin, and then it got hit by a meteor. So
Just did. Insult to injury there.
Just ended.
pile it on.
So most of the people from Treefell over the course of those 60 years had already come to Huttenberg. A lot of people saw that the town wasn't going anywhere, so younger generations coming up had already left. So only like the most stubborn people were left up there at the time it happened. So the number of casualties were actually quite low. But one of the more important things that happened a year ago also was there was a disease that made its way into Huttenberg. And it would cause rather large worms to sprout out from your body, usually killing you in the process, kind of chestburster style.
Well,
So they sent their plague doctor to Huttenberg to find out what had happened, and he did not return alive. So there's a festival that is going to take place soon to commemorate the life of Plague Doctor Latronius. And thus, everything that is being shipped back into Huttenberg is believed to be either related to him or in some fashion or another related to the meteor event that took place up there.
Huh?
And somebody has a great amount of interest and would like you all to steal it.
Would you say the name was of the person who was commissioned this or addressed it or whatever it was?
Who gave you the tip?
The goods are going to a guy named Bravo von Helfrich.
Helfrich.
That's the intended recipient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we get a name of who hired us?
You were given an anonymous tip.
Okay. And if we get this stuff to the Hobbled, it was the Hobbled Horse?
The Hobbled Horsey. And it says to
Okay.
order 1 dwarvin whiskey and a gin.
Okay.
Now, whoever would be the best at survival, if you would like to give me a standard survival check.
I've got a 36%. It's probably not me.
You know what? Ivan, he has lived in woods many times while running from law. I will give you your test. What was difficulty?
Standard.
Standard survival. There's no modifier. That is how it is
There
done.
you go. So that's a success. He has rolled under his target. Yep, we're missing 2 today, Animal G. They'll be back in 2 weeks. So the guys are kicking this thing off without the ladies today. It's guys' night out. So
Yeah, we may die before they meet us.
they died at character creation. No, they'll be back in a couple of weeks.
This is our funnel.
So you passed your survival, and by looking at the little bit of maps and everything you have about the road, you can tell there's a couple of good ambush points outside the city. Your other option would then be to try to take it once it's through the gates. But if you take it outside the city, then you have to figure out how to get it through the gate. So your options are outside, where you have much better odds of actually getting it without being seen or causing a ruckus, and then trying to smuggle it through. Or you can set up for a jump point somewhere inside the city and hope you get away without getting caught.
Yeah, I am definitely in favor of doing the jump outside of the city.
Yeah, gentlemen, it seems as if we've got ourselves an option. If we take them outside, I'm sure they have paperwork saying they're allowed to bring it into the city, and that should be good enough for us.
Yes, we just pretend to be those who we might have killed.
Ah,
Yeah, hopefully not killed, but if that's
Yes.
the case, that's how it goes.
You know. It's always, you must look at the rules of the road. And that would be rule number 10. You do not kill those who have surrendered, but you do kill those who would hold a grudge. So,
That's
How
good.
do you
I'll write that
decide?
down.
what's that?
How do you decide who's
Hey.
likely to hold grudge?
Usually, if they say things like, I will get you, I hold grudge, I'm going to shoot you, those are things that I look for.
Ugh.
It's
All right.
pretty clear. Yeah.
So
pretty good.
you guys head out towards Old Mill Road. You find yourself again one of those ambush points, and you get set up. And you know that they're supposed to be rolling in. It's a one-day travel, pretty much from Treefell to Huttenberg. So you know it's going to show up pretty late in the day, because if they leave first thing in the morning, it would take them pretty much all day to get there. So you know that you've got all day to sort of plan. So if there's anything you want to do preparation-wise, you can go into Huttenberg first. The gate, there is a gate. They just kind of check you coming in and out, but it isn't. They're not overly screening people or anything like that.
Yeah,
Or you can just go to the setup point.
We should get some rope.
Maybe we should also see if somebody comes by with cart, if they check people in, like what processes.
That is a good idea. We should split up. One of us goes get rope. We also need an axe
And a shovel.
and a shovel.
An axe and a shovel.
Rope,
Alright.
axe, shovel. And then one of us stays and watches gate to see what they do for people entering with cart.
Well, I suppose I can go ahead and get us the goods.
Okay. I will stay here, and I shall watch the carts with friend.
All right.
Do you think I should go with Wolfram, since you're better at not being noticed?
That is fine too. I will not argue.
All right. So the two of you head into Huttenberg and find yourself a general shop.
Mm-hmm.
You were looking for a shovel and a bit of rope
Shovel, a rope,
axe.
and an axe.
and an axe. All right. So, without having to look up prices too quickly, we'll say you're able to get the two non-weapon items for relatively cheap. It'll only cost you, we'll say it cost you 5 brass pennies for a bit of rope and a shovel.
All right. I'll pay for it.
The axe, however, is going to be a little more expensive.
How much rope did we get?
I figure with like 50 foot.
All right.
4 silver shillings for the axe.
Ooh.
Can we just take X?
Are you going to try to steal from the shop?
I'm not good at that. I only have sleight of one hand, not sleight of two hands. But like Wolfram could probably grab it.
Well, let's see what's on my sheet.
Are
real
you
quick.
trained in skullduggery? Skullduggery is the thieving skill.
No, definitely not. That's
Not
something I'm good
skullduggery.
at. Not a skill I'm acquainted with yet.
I wonder what he even wanted X for.
You know, it's a good question. I'd imagined, fell a tree, maybe? Get it all in the road? Probably do same bits with, digging a hole across the little bit of the trench. Wagon wheel gets stuck. We, find our way in.
That's what I was planning. I was planning on digging a hole and putting like stakes in bottom.
Well, that's one way.
My
Don't
cousin
think I
Charlie
have the
taught
money
me
for
that.
this.
I definitely don't have the money for this.
I think we'll be good with these. Thinking about it a bit, all we really need to do is temporarily disable it. And then from there, we got the rope, tie people up. Anything else that's good for that? Things to make us harder to see, maybe?
We have headband and bandana. We'll be alright.
They'll never guess where we are. It all depends if we have tree cover, I suppose. Well, I say we go with these 2 items and we make our way back.
All right. In the meantime, while they've been shopping, Chuck, give me a routine stealth check.
You got it. Routine. Sneaking. Where is sneak? There it is. And I am trained in stealth. Routine stealth.
Oh,
Oh,
you didn't make it. Would you like to spend a fortune?
By 2.
yeah. We got to spend that fortune point. I'll reroll.
All right, so re-roll.
We are setting ourselves up well for
We-
this encounter.
R.
Hey, that's better.
There we go.
All right, so you're able to lurk around a gatehouse, and you see they come in, and sure enough, as you suspected, the driver pulls papers, presents them to the reeves. The reeves go over. They work in what looks like a team of 3, one up in the tower, looking down, who can run the gates if he has to, and then two on the ground that just do like a walk around and just check to make sure that the manifesto matches what
Okay.
what
So
it
they
appears.
do-
They're not opening up all the crates themselves, but they're just
Yeah.
looking, and if it says crates of apples, they just kind of look like, does it look like some crates with some apples in it? Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Like,
But they are checking papers, and
Yep.
they are giving it a quick
yep.
cursory look. Okay.
They're not asking a lot of questions. They're just looking, and as long as but all the carts you're seeing are checking out. Like, there's not a ton that come in this direction.
Okay. Okay. That's good information.
So what does it mean when a skill has an asterisk next to it and it says special skill?
An asterisk is a special skill. Anything that does not have an asterisk, you can attempt to do it whether you have a dot in it or not. If it's an
Okay.
asterisk, you can attempt it if you do not have a dot, but you are flipped to fail. So, like skullduggery has an asterisk. So if you would attempt to steal something and you're not trained in skullduggery, you roll your D100, and then you check it both directions to see if it's lower than your target score.
Jeez.
So if your target was 50 and you rolled a 36, you would think, hey, I succeeded, but you're flipped to fail. So we also have to check to see if 63 succeeds, and it does not seem to fail.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. So,
I was looking at counterfeit as an option, but yep, that doesn't look good. All right.
so you come back with 2 of your 3 items, and you meet up with Ivan, who's been watching some carts come through. Everything seems like it's checking out okay. Just another quiet day at the gate of Huttenberg.
Well,
So-
good news. Rope and shovel very cheap, but unfortunately, the axe is out of our price range.
That is too bad, but we can make do without axe. I was just thinking of cutting tree down and laying it across road.
That's easy. That's what I thought he was doing.
We are
But,
going to a place called Tree Fell. Maybe we find Fall Tree.
We're not going clear to Tree Fell. We're staying in road outside of Huttenberg, yes?
Oh, yeah, of course. You're right. You're right.
So they are inspecting the carts. They look at the manifesto. They see if it matches. They're not doing close inventory, and then they ask a few questions. I think we can pull the walls over eyes for this.
Seems pretty straightforward. If they got inventory coming into town legally, then I would assume they have the paperwork. It's just a matter of looking at the names.
Did the wagon you see, does it have guards?
I only watched wagons that aren't the ones we're stealing, and I don't know. Dustin, did any of them have guards on them?
No, none of them were guarded.
Okay, yeah. There were no hired muscle protecting them. They will be easy pickings.
Yeah. Like taking a raccoon from log.
Yes,
Is that a saying around here?
I do not know. He hit his head once off a horse fall.
Okay, well, I'm
You
excited.
got it backwards. Horse fell on me. I didn't fall off horse.
My bad. I also fell off horse and hit head. Not same horse. Just
I generally avoid horses.
horses are
Weird.
evil. Hang on. I
Don't
have-
listen to the little shot. Don't listen to them. I'll just cover my horse's ears.
I must reference number 14 from Rules of the Road. Never trust a horse. Those hell beasts are pure evil.
Oh, if only
Very
Georgie
good.
was here to hear that.
So,
I think you just haven't found the right horse yet.
Listen, I do not trust any creature that lays its eggs in the ground and they crawl out like worms.
I'm gonna look at my horse and I'm gonna look at its back like, you do that?
Just staring at them and just gobsmacked.
They didn't cover that in Dragoon School.
So you guys make your way out down the mill road, up towards. You're out of sight of Huttenberg at this point. You found yourself a nice hilly area where you'll be able to come up kind of out of the grass. There's not a whole lot of trees between Huttenberg and Treefell. Part of the reason they had to go clear to Treefell was to find trees large enough for siege equipment. So any little patches of trees and stuff along the road, most of it's been plowed for farmland. So you have a lot of places where there's farms, you've got some wild fields where there's pastures, typical bits of fence here and there put up to keep animals in, but there's plenty of tall grass. No one comes out here and mows ditches or anything like that. So there is all sorts of tall grass, and there is kind of rolling hills as you head up towards the mountain area up there towards High Mountain. So it's very hilly here. You can find some places where there's not so much blind corners, but kind of a blind corner where you can catch the wagons off guard. And the wagons, they're not built for speed. They're durable, so they make the trek and they get there one piece, but they're not built for speed. So it shouldn't be a problem catching up to them, even on foot, probably.
Okay. On the way out, I would like to try to find a relatively sturdy stick that I can break off or find on the road.
You want an improvised weapon?
Basically, what I'm looking for is something to jam spokes.
Okay, that's fine.
Idea.
You can have a large stick.
Excellent.
If you hit anyone with it, it will be an improvised weapon.
Yeah, I probably won't be doing that, but we'll see.
All right, then. So has anyone else got any equipment they want to pick up before you go start this heist?
I don't think so. So you said the area is there's tall grass and everything
Yep.
around it. Okay. I think I should. I've got another idea. Do I have?
I'm going to quickly switch over to our Roll20 screen so the viewers can see the map.
There we go. I have a spare set of clothes, so I'm thinking if we need to make another distraction, we could stuff a set of clothes with straw, throw it on the road, and someone can stand off the road yelling for help. And they go up to check out the injured person on the road, and then we hop out, guns drawn, and do some damage.
It's not a bad idea.
Listen, when you be criminal as long as I have, you learn many tricks.
I like your plan, but I also like your plan where I hide behind hill and you guys jump out and intimidate them. If they say no, you whistle and I joust the driver of the cart with lance.
Oh, that is very stylish. That might need to be new rule. You can do logical plan, but if style... Yes, I will think of the right words, but style is good. I like that plan.
Well, we can combine the two ideas. I look a little fancy for the road. I could be out and about. My cart was stolen. And please help. I need it picked up. And then surprise, jousting.
You need to look like you've been roughed up, Wolfram?
Oh. I suppose it's part of the job, yes. All right, I'll take a quick tumble through the weeds.
I got your back, and I'll just roll them down the hill.
That's great.
That's fantastic. So, you guys are going to stuff an extra suit of clothes like a scarecrow and toss it out in the road?
I don't think so.
We were just going to stuff Wolfram and throw him out in the middle.
Wolfram just goes out into the road, say he's been mugged to stop them. Then Asher runs them through with lance. And maybe I sneak up behind back cart and I, do jam log into spoke so they cannot run off.
Hey, look, anybody who thinks my fire-hardened spear is not lance, I don't need that negativity in my life.
Yes. It is what you make of it, not what it is labeled.
All right, so...
shall we dig a few holes in the road? Make it choppy?
We
I can do that.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Big
spend
guy.
some time digging digging some potholes. You got it roughed up pretty good. Do you have any other plans that you want to do to stop these carts?
No, we got the road kind of roughed up a little bit to kind of throw them off. Jeff
Make some little lines that make it look like a cart maybe like took off a little bit through that area, so it looks legit.
And I'll hide in the grass, maybe 20, 30 feet back from where Jeff's at, from where Wolfram's at, so that way I can sneak out and jam his log into the back spokes of the back wagon.
All right. So we're going to go ahead then and move forward in time. You got a little while you have to wait. And pretty soon, it doesn't... Make me... Who's got the better awareness check, probably?
Awareness is...
Under perception.
Perception.
You got a 36.
I would roll a 50 on that.
Got a 43.
All right. So I had a feeling it might be the smuggler. So go ahead and roll just a routine awareness.
You got it. Oh, man.
No good.
An 80. No good. We just missed the cart. It just drives past us.
Yeah.
I've got to make a check based on that.
That's rough.
Oh yeah, I succeeded. So
Off to a great start.
as it
Ivan Witter's whistle. Well, was supposed to be an earth-shattering whistle.
you set up for a blind corner, and this thing arrives earlier than you anticipate. And before you're quite set and ready, as you were kind of prepping things, it kind of comes around the corner. The first one does. You see the driver kind of leans forward and looks your direction.
Now, who all's out and about? Is it all of us, or is it just me?
I think it's just you at this point.
Okay.
Help! Help me!
You see the driver, he raises his hand and brings the cart to a stop quite a ways from you. He seems to be making some sort of motion, and you see a man in some brigandine armor come walking up towards you. Gruff looking man.
Right.
Oh,
Just clear the road.
well, I'd like to. It's a long way back to town, and my wagon's been lifted from me. Thank God you come along on the road, and I hear. Could I catch a ride with you?
Sorry, wagon's full.
While this is going, I'm seeing the well-armored dude. What kind of weapons he got on him?
He has a mortuary sword at his side.
Okay. Go ahead.
I say, if you want, make a scrutinize at challenging.
Yeah. I need to kick that up to challenging.
Is this guy wearing any particular garb that says he's like a reeve or a cop or something?
We're going to see if
Damn,
Chuck
I missed it
misses
by
his
2.
roll. He doesn't know.
Damn.
Jeff, do you have would you like to make scrutinize also, since you're asking? That's exactly what I was going to give Chuck if he made it. So if you want to, since you're asking, I'll let you roll it too.
Skilled in it, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
Scrutinize
either.
is under perception, I believe, as well.
Yeah, I see it. But what's the difficulty?
Challenging.
It's challenging.
Challenging. All right, let's do that. Scrutinize roll.
Nope,
Damn.
you did not make it either.
Nope, he's just a dude.
So
Just a guy.
He's wearing some regalias and stuff, but you don't recognize what any of it means. Actually, really, the dragoon would probably be the one who would be the most likely to know it. So, because you have formal military training, I would also let you roll education instead. Or
I'm behind the hill, so I don't think I can even see what's going on.
you don't have a vantage point even from where you're at.
No, I'm waiting for a whistle as my signal.
Okay, so you're not even in view sight of it. So yeah, you're not going to be able to tell anything then from where you are, unfortunately. But you would have been the one maybe with most likely to know. Yeah, they've got some regalia and stuff on, but you don't know what it means.
When I come around the corner and joust him, I'll be able to tell you what's going on.
Okay. When it's too late, we'll know.
That's perfect. How many guard-like individuals are there?
You see the one on the ground talking to you, and you see another who's on top of the cart, not the driver, but a second one who's up on top of the cart, and he's got an arbalest crossbow in both hands, sitting on top of the cart at the moment. And you don't know about the second wagon behind it.
While they're distracted with Wolfram, I would like to sneak up to this cart, and I want to be sneaky and get right up there point blank with my blunderbuss.
To the driver?
To the guard in the...
on the cart?
The crossbow, yeah.
Okay, because there's a second wagon behind it that's also loaded with 3 individuals.
Okay,
this is going to be a rather arduous stealth check to try to get there unseen.
I didn't know the other cart was back there.
Yeah, it's right behind it. They're like caravanning.
Then I'm not going to do that. I want to sneak to the back, through the grass or whatever.
To the back.
The back.
Okay, that is a much easier. That's an easy stealth check compared to trying to get the jump on the first driver.
Yeah, I want to move to the back, and I want to stuff that stick that Jeff found earlier in the back spokes.
Okay, so set yourself to easy and make a stealth check.
You got it. Where are you at, stealth?
And you failed.
Oh.
Would you like to fortune point that?
Yes.
Yeah. We're just going to fully load him up with misfortune right before the combat ensues.
You ready?
Yep, whenever you are.
Please roll better.
Even with that being easy, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yes!
All right,
Yes.
so you sneak your way up there into the back, and without anyone looking, you just slide the bar in there, real quiet-like, and then slip back over into the grass. And pretty soon, you hear the guys from the second cart yell up to check in with the first cart. They yell at the guy up on top of the first one. He's like, "What's going on up there?" You hear the other guy yell back. He goes, just a vagabond along the side of the road. He'll be clear in a moment.
Vagabond? No, not a vagabond. Vagabonds don't wear clothes like this.
The man in front of you is like looking at you over, and he goes, maybe you got some money, but I don't think that changes anything.
Well, it changes quite a bit around here, doesn't it?
No, not necessarily.
High favor from men up high?
You know how many times on road patrol we've come across men in fancy clothes because they already done killed a man and took him?
Do I look like the kind of man who could kill a man?
Maybe.
What do you think? I just threw myself down the field? And a cart just drove off on its own?
He starts looking around.
We've got an ability that may come in favor here.
What you got?
So I've got the talent of Forked Tongue, which gives me a plus 20 base to Guile test of anyone who is not in my same social class.
And what social class are you?
Lowborn.
Lowborn. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a 60% chance that these guys are lowborn, just based on the standard chart.
Possibility. So yeah.
They are also lowborn, so it's not going to help you with this guy.
That's fine. All right.
Now you can still make the
test?
check. You just don't get the plus 20 if you'd like to make your guile check.
Well, let's do that. It's probably gonna.
This will just be standard.
This is. I'm sure I've got this set correctly. I do not. Let's see the standard and guile.
That's
Come
not
on.
going to make it. So you try this, and he's heard this bit before, and so he pulls his mortuary sword, and he just kind of points it at you, and he says, "Now clear the road. We're on important business. This is business of the Maester. You don't want anything to do with the Maester. He has enough power and
Business of the
influence.
Maester.
He'll crush you, whatever's left of you. Now move along."
Well, I wouldn't want to fight a man with a sword, but beat up an old man on the road.
Jeff, go ahead and make that easy rumor.
Okay. Yeah. Easy rumor. Well, we had a plus 20 last time and I failed it? That's amazing. Oh my god!
You still don't know.
Roll 20. It's coming for us today.
It's on a tear today. So
Freaking 84.
So even after hearing the title of Maester, you're unfamiliar with the name.
Nobody knows who that is.
Seeing as a weapon has been drawn, I want to sneak back out, and I want to sneak up to the. I'm going to guess there's an armed crossbowman on the bench seat on the second wagon, right?
Yeah.
I want to sneak up to that, and same thing. I want to pull my blunderbuss out, and I want to level at it, and I want to whistle.
You want to go
When
for
I do
surprise
that.
round? I'll give you surprise round if you're going for it. I mean, you get surprise round anyway because you're a smuggler. So
Yeah.
you have the trait Han shot first as a smuggler.
Well, I'm not.
So-
I don't think. I'm not trying to escalate it to combat yet. I just want to pull a gun on him and be like, "You should surrender before I paint a wagon."
Okay.
Okay, so let's make an intimidation roll. And because you have a gun pointed at him, I'm gonna boost this up to trivial.
Wow. Watch me fail.
I'm so excited for this.
Oh, intimidate is brawn. That's right.
All right.
Hey,
there it
a
is.
freaking 9.
So you-
About time.
You got a gun pointed at him. What's your FB, Chuck?
My fellowship bonus is only 3.
Is 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you got the reeve and the driver. You got the gun basically pointed at them. Those two are affected by your intimidate. The driver lets
Nice.
go of the reins. He puts his hands up.
Yeah.
The reeve lowers his crossbow and sets it down on the bench next to him. And he looks at you and he says, "Now, sir, we don't want any trouble. This
do not
cargo
want-
belongs to Maester Bravo von Helfrich. And
the-
you don't want any part of the retaliation that he will send down upon you if you try to uplift any of this cargo from us."
But he would have to know who I am first, and he does not know who I am. So this is not a big concern for me. And I will tell you what, I do not want trouble too. I want all of us to be able to go home tonight and drink an ale, eat some food. So please, just work with me here.
I've put down my crossbow. I'm working with you.
Good. Now climb down, please.
He steps down and the driver steps down, and about that time you see the sellsword comes around from behind the back and pulls his mortuary sword. Says, "What's going on here?"
I am robbing you. Please put down your sword.
And we'll need initiatives.
Okay.
Now, initiative in Zweihander. We technically should have done this already. The first thing you do every session of Zweihander, whether you need it or not, is roll initiative. Initiative is a D10 plus your initiative modifier, which you will find on the talents and trappings of your...
I wish there was a button to roll initiative.
There is not a button. So I will add you all to the initiative roster once I see your D10 plus whatever roll in roll 20 pop up.
And if there's no bonus in the window, does that mean I don't get a bonus to initiative?
You need to, the one right underneath initiative says overage. You need to look to the one left of it. That's 3 plus PB underneath of it.
That's also like on my.
Yeah, so PB is your perception bonus.
Let
Yeah.
me look at your sheet.
I've got a mighty 10. It's probably not that great.
How do you not have a number?
I got a 10 too.
Excellent. We were coordinating.
All right,
on
your
this.
perception bonus is a 5, so
Yours is an 8.
there, you got an 8 in there now. I don't know why it wasn't there before.
Man, you guys are way faster than I am.
All right, so what we will do
You're a
is we will-
dwarf. I'm a quarter halfling.
Quarterling?
There's that hissing noise.
Mm-hmm.
So we have... Sure. We have Vosram. Is that how you say it right? Yeah. Yeah, it's Wolfram.
Seems right.
Wolfram.
Yeah, Wolfram. Yep.
Wolfram.
Yeah, real dice would be nice right about now, wouldn't they? But they wouldn't be so good for stream.
Right.
You guys like to see us fail. We're working on that.
Mhm.
What Dustin didn't bank on was shitty rolls.
That's the truth.
I should have included that as a disclaimer when he asked me if I wanted to play. Oh, by the way, randomly generated numbers hate me.
It's what makes the game spicy.
This game
It's
gets
just
real
continuous.
spicy with the randomness real quick, too.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see. Should get acquainted with these status effects, I guess, since my character is apparently good at them.
9.
Oh, I didn't bring my cheat sheet for my perilous stunts.
That's what I'm looking for. I got the perilous stunts pulled up. I don't have the effects chart. No, I saw it earlier. We're looking at these handy PDFs.
The sellsword has pulled, and you still have the reeve and the driver at gunpoint. Unfortunately, Wolfram is he can't see this going on because of where you're currently located.
Just keep them.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna.
occupied.
I think I can move this over to combat.
Ooh, that's super zoomed in real life. All right.
All right, so everyone there on home now should be able to see this. I think I've got it set up correctly. Yep. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start.
So we got tokens.
All right, so this is
Gotta
where
find a
we're.
way to lighten my token up a little
This
bit.
is where we're starting out. For this is just a kind of a generic combat map. It has a lot of the rules on it for combat that'll help you guys make decisions. Chuck is pretty familiar with it already, but what you're seeing there is I've moved Ivan into melee combat with one reeve, which is this guy here. That's a reeve, and that's a driver. And that's a sellsword. So those are what the tokens are, just so you can differentiate when I talk about them. Asher, you are back there at long range, still waiting
And
for your
Lushan.
signal. And Wolfram, he is down there, and he is currently within melee range of a second sellsword who is up there talking to him with his sword drawn also. We are going to start with Ivan, because we have to start with Ivan, because Han shot first, and he's a
Yeah, he
smuggler.
did.
So since Han shot first, it's like the Wookiee rule in South Park, right? Since Chewbacca doesn't fit, you must quit. Well, since Han shot first, the smuggler gets to shoot first. So you get a full set of 3 AP, and technically a somewhat surprise round to go first. It's not true surprise, but you get to go first.
All right, so I want to, this other sellsword moved around the back of the wagon, sword drawn.
Correct.
I want to saddle up next to the reeve that I'm standing next to, and I want to put my blunderbuss, barrel on his cheek. And first thing I want to do, I move up to him, put my barrel on his cheek. I want to give a real strong whistle, alerting Asher that it's time to do his thing.
Okay.
And then I want to call out at the other sellsword, please, drop your sword so I do not have to drop your friend.
The sellsword looks back at you, says, "Sorry, it's not part of the contract. I'll make sure his widow is taken care of after you've killed him. But I will kill you if you do not lower your gun now."
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Like, to the dude I got my gun on, this man, he is a true asshole. How many AP have I burnt up so far? Just
one to whistle for
the move?
Asher. I'll make you burn one to give the signal.
Okay, cool. I want to go ahead and I want to take aim for 1 AP.
Okay.
And then I want to shoot the sellsword that I'm talking to.
Okay, so you're not going to shoot the reeve, you're going to shoot the sellsword.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Okay.
shoot the guy who surrendered. He's not going to hold a grudge right now.
All right, so you're targeting the sellsword there at medium range.
Yeah.
So your take aim will actually counter the difficulty for medium range.
Okay.
So you're at a standard.
Standard difficulty.
Standard blunderbuss time.
Lots of trappings. Blunderbuss. Okay. Oh, I get to increase that by 10, yeah? Oh, no, it canceled it out. Yeah.
You canceled it out.
Yep.
And
Yes!
you hit.
Nice.
You did 8 damage.
No, I didn't do 8 damage. Because I'm on a fortune point.
Okay, so you're going to burn a fortune.
And what is that? That makes that, that makes that 9 damage, and I get to roll another d6.
Oh, because it maxed out, you get a reroll?
You
Yes.
can use a fortune point to explode a fury die. It turns that fury die to a phase 6, and then you get to roll another d6 on top of it.
So all weapons in Zweihander do a d6 fury die damage. Doesn't matter what kind of weapon you're using. There are things you can do that will give you additional fury dice. What Chuck has elected to do is spend a fortune point to guarantee that the first roll is a 6. So he takes 6 plus his bonus, which was a...
Is that a 4?
It looks like it was a 3. Nope,
3,
a 5.
so-
You have a 5 plus 3.
5, sir.
Oh, I
No.
rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3.
Okay.
5 is
Yeah.
your bonus. So
So that goes to an 11,
that goes to an 11.
plus another 5, because my second die was a 5.
Yes, makes it 17. Now, Chuck knows the rules quite well. He does not have to stop there with the fortune spending. But I have readjusted the screen so that the viewers and you guys at home can see down there at the bottom. You see my fancy 4 misfortune points in your 2 fortune. So
Oh, yeah.
you've almost spent them all up already, and they're almost all in my hands.
Yep.
It's going to feel good here.
But in the
a second.
meantime, Chuck has done a pretty sizable amount of damage to this sellsword. He has done 2 levels of damage.
Nice.
The guy is wearing brigandine armor, and he has a sellsword, so you know.
Yeah.
Now, you get to check for injury, but
Oh, cool.
roll your d6. Damn. He did not roll a 6. Now, if Chuck wanted to, he could spend a fortune point to maximize that to a 6 and guarantee he does an injury. Because it's only lightly wounded right now, actually, sorry, it's moderately wounded, he would roll on the moderately wounded chart to inflict an injury. Those injuries they're good, but they're not like the best injuries in the world. So he may not want to maximize that die yet. Chuck
In terms
also,
in ways of injuries, they're just mediocre, really. You know?
Yeah. It
yeah.
is.
They
I mean,
do
some of
a
them
bit.
are like dislocated thumb. Like they're not
Yeah.
like the
If
most.
you've ever dislocated your thumb, that's pretty serious.
Hey, look, they have every injury has a negative effect that you have to carry around with you. But
Yep.
for the purposes of this, it's not going to keep this guy from probably lopping his head off in a minute if he ain't careful. Especially when I have 4 misfortune points on me.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Chuck also is probably well aware that sellswords don't take moderate or serious injuries. So it would do him no good to try to injure a sellsword anyway.
Yeah.
So, we will go
that's
ahead
pretty
and
serious
move on
ability.
to Ivan. You've got another AP still because you called for Asher. You fired. That was your 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on.
Now it is your turn in combat because you rolled the best initiative. So now you get 3 more AP because Han not only shot first, he apparently gets to go second. So go ahead now and take your normal action in this combat turn.
How are you dealing with switching weapons?
If you drop it, I won't make you pay an AP, but you do have to pull an AP to pull the new one out. Especially with the
Cool.
blunderbuss because it's 2-handed, you couldn't have it prepped.
Yeah, that's cool. I dropped my blunderbuss.
Okay, it
And
is
then
dropped.
for an AP, I pull out my flintlock pistol.
All right.
And then I take aim for 10. So that's 1 AP to get my pistol out,
Yep.
1 AP to take aim,
Yep.
giving me a plus 10 on that.
Which
and
again
then,
is negated by the range.
Yep. And then my final AP I will use to pull the trigger with this flintlock pistol.
All right. Take your shot.
And we're at
Wait,
standard.
he has a penalty to range because he's point blank?
He's not point blank.
No, I'm
He's
shooting the guy
medium.
at medium range.
Oh,
If you look
okay.
on the chart here, did I move you over to the combat chart? You guys are seeing it, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
we're
I
seeing
just
it, yeah.
was confused at who you
Right
were
above
referring
that cell sword.
Yeah, yeah.
You see up there, he's listed as medium range. And you have missed,
Ooh.
Chuck. Would you like to spend a fortune?
No.
Nope. So the flintlock pistol, boom, fires off. You hear 2 bangs up there, Wolfram. You hear a loud bang and then a slightly softer one, but you recognize those as flintlock pistol and gunfire from gunpowder.
Oh no, the
weapons.
bandits are back!
So that is the end of Ivan's turn. So that takes us to the Reeves. Reeve number 1, who's standing next to Ivan, is going to attempt a takedown maneuver on Ivan, who's not paying any attention there next to him, busy
That's
firing at the
fair.
sellsword.
Don't die.
That
What do I need?
misses.
Oh.
So I am
Alright.
going to use one of my misfortunes to reroll that. And he misses even worse. So this Reeve tries to take the gunner down, but he can't. So for his second AP, he's going to very quickly hop back up into the cart, and for his third, he's going to grab his arbalist crossbow. The Reeve up at the front, who hears the gunshots, turns around. His is loaded. He's going to take aim at Chuck, and he's going to fire, but he's actually at long range. And so this is going to only be a -10 to his attack. So at this point, he only has a 34% chance to hit.
And I did not leave any AP left.
And I'm going to re-roll that one with misfortune as well.
7.
There you go.
8. At least we're burning them out.
Yeah.
He does not make
Yes.
it. So that's both Reeves. The sellsword's turns are next, however, unfortunately for you guys.
It's gonna be alright.
Sellsword number 1, he's going to attempt to take down on Wolfram. And just
Alright, so
as he says to you, down on the ground, face down.
so some of my abilities, I get an automatic parry.
Yeah, you cannot parry a perilous stunt. You can parry combat attacks.
Gotcha. Alright. So what do I do
He
here?
has failed. So
I
he's
do
trying to
nothing.
get you to the ground, and he's got his sword pointed at you, and he says, "Get down on the ground."
Okay.
His second AP, he had to spend 1 AP. No, he was already in melee with you, so that was only 1 AP. His second AP is he's going to just strike you with the hilt of the weapon, just to try to take you down to the ground.
Okay. So at that point,
Now he
I
does
will,
strike with that. Now
will
this is where
automatically
your
do parry.
parry comes in,
Yeah.
because you have an ancestral trait of dwarven warfare. You automatically parry if you spend the AP to do so. Would you like to spend the AP?
Well, I also have a free parry from being lightning reflexes. So yes, I will automatically
That's right.
parry.
You do.
For free.
Your lightning reflexes as a rake, you automatically get the 1 to spend to do this. So he goes to strike you, and what weapon are you using again?
It's a staff.
So you just bring the staff up and you just catch right at the wrist. And he's taller than you because he's human, and you're a dwarf. So he's trying to strike down at you, and you just bring it up there and hit him right across the wrist with it. And his third AP, he is going to bank to parry if you try to strike him.
Okay.
Second sellsword is going to attempt a charge maneuver at Ivan,
Quarry.
which brings him into melee, and that
Oh
is
my
going to be
gosh.
all of his AP to attempt a charge and a slash with his mortuary sword.
Ivan looks fine. He's doing
It's
well.
fine. Everything's fine.
Just
That
how
is not
running
going to
around him.
hit, so we're going to
Yes!
spin another misfortune.
Yes!
75. Man, we were rolling high.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's good enough to strike, Chuck. You don't have anything to parry either, do you?
No, I'm out of AP.
So that's going to be 2d6 plus 5 for a charge maneuver on Ivan to start tonight off.
Ouchie Wawa.
My
From
my
8.
damage threshold.
You take
4.
8. Okay, so Chuck's damage threshold is 4. After the
What does that
first
mean?
4, he takes 1 health level, which moves him from unharmed down to lightly wounded. There's no injury checks at lightly wounded.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not enough to kick me down to
Now,
moderate.
every 6 after that, it moves you down an additional level on the same hit. Now, because Chuck's an experienced player, I could spin that last misfortune point to maximize that die like he did to me. And somehow that sounds fair. So I think I will. So we're going to roll this again.
Yeah.
And it's going to go, that's going to be... So that'll be a 6-2 is 8 plus 5. It's 15 total. Would put you 2 levels down.
Puts me at moderate.
Now I get to check for injury. A mortuary sword is a nasty weapon. It is vicious. It has the trait vicious. So it rolls an extra d6 chaos die to check for injury. So we're going to roll 2 d6s. If either of them come up a 6, Chuck's going to get his first injury of the game. Oh, look at that, Chuck!
Oh,
Now,
that's
Chuck,
a 4.
you have 1 fate point on you.
You know I'm going to.
Are you going to blow your fate point in the first combat of the first game?
Well, let's see what the injury is.
You want to see the injury first?
I want to
Okay.
see what the injury is first.
Now,
It's not so
in-
bad, Ivan. Like I'm
in
missing
the
head and
core
Wolfram's
rule
missing
book,
eyeball.
this is my favorite thing to say, and I don't know if it was intended or not, but the injury tables are on page 365 because injuries can happen any day of the year. So if you ever need to know where to find, it in the book, it's page
That's
365.
Absolutely great.
All right, for moderate injury, Chuck, roll me a D100.
Yes.
Now, I wouldn't do it to anyone else, J-Knob, but Chuck gets everything he deserves.
Yeah, I'm not. Everything's earned. That's a 55.
Chuck, you have a pulled muscle.
That's not so bad.
Until fully recuperated, you must flip the results to all brawn-based skill checks. You are flipped to fail on anything brawn-based.
Okay, I'll take that.
So, like I said, moderate injuries are not the worst in the world. So,
Oh, yeah.
Now, when you go to heal an injury, while we're here and we're talking about it, you have to heal the injury before you can heal any health levels. And that's done differently than... how you heal them is done differently than a health level 2. But we'll get to that part if you guys survive all of this. So yeah, you got a pulled muscle from the wound. That takes us to Asher's turn. Asher, you have heard the call. And oh, hold on, I didn't give you a token you need.
Oh. Would be a good token to have.
I took all the time in the world to put this on here, and how did I not give it to you? Oh, I know why. Because it's on the chase. I thought this was going to be a chase scene, so I loaded it onto the chase scene. I didn't load it into the combat scene, though. Where's it at? It's down here. I got a lot of tokens to scroll through.
I have so many folders in my Roll20 account for tokens. Oh, there's a little shot, my horse.
Oh, there you go.
The
Fucking hell
hellspawn
beast. Yeah.
The hellspawn that Ivan was worried about.
Listen, any creature that willingly eats the flesh
All
of
right,
their
you
own
have
kind.
control over it, that token as well. So you can move it with you as long as you're mounted. Now, if you look up, I
do
didn't put
not
it on
have
this
control of that token yet.
I didn't put it on this one, but anytime you attack from horseback to a non-horseback target, you get to add an extra fury die.
Huh.
Very
So
badass.
being mounted is actually a good thing in this game. Having your enemy prone adds another fury die. So if you knock someone prone, that adds another fury die. Charging adds a fury die. So if you're able to charge from horseback, you start at 3d6 damage. it's good stuff, Asher.
Well, I would like to charge and help my buddy Ivan out. Get that sellsword right in his little sellsword face with my hardened spear.
So you charge right on in. So move yourself up there, engagement-wise, into melee.
Cool. And I don't have control of the horse yet.
You don't have control of the horse?
There's no controlling horses. They do what they wish. And
Now-
what they wish to do is murder.
Ivan brings up a good point. You do have to make a handle animal check.
I'm good for that.
Or ride. Is ride separate?
Ride is separate.
Ride is separate, so you need to make a ride check.
All right, here we go. Is it standard, routine, challenging?
No, actually, sorry. It is handle animal. Ride is for something else.
Oh, that's for vehicles, yeah.
That's for vehicles. So yes,
Yeah.
it is handle animal.
Is it-
Sorry.
Is drive or pilot not for vehicles?
I'm pretty sure that it's... I'm pretty sure those are still other vehicles.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure handle animal is what you need for horseback.
Cool. Well, let's see how this goes.
And you successfully are able to ride. It cost you 1 AP to move up. If you're going to do a charge maneuver, it actually costs you a 2nd AP.
Well, I would like to do a charge.
Okay, so you're going to spend...
On 245, it is ride.
It is ride?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was handle animal. I'm gonna honor his 13 either way. So
It's a great roll.
it's a great roll, and you guys haven't had that many great rolls yet. So
That's
we're
right.
gonna let Asher come charging up over the hill on his horse with his fire-hardened spear, and with 2 AP to charge, and then an attack roll pending. Then, so you need to roll your fire-hardened spear. I have it set up as a template on talents and trappings.
I see that.
It
I
is
do
just
get a
standard.
plus 10 base chance to strike with melee and ranged weapons when on horseback.
Yes, you have a trait, a talent that lets you do that. That's correct. So you get to make it a routine attack.
Now, are there any additional movement advantages being on a horse? Like,
The way I understand it, the horse does not have its own AP, so you get to use the AP. What it has is a higher movement rate, so the amount you can move is much higher. And you can't use movement at all on a horse unless you make your ride check first.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to roll my fire hardened spear now. Here we go.
Roll it.
Ruin his life.
Oh, look at that.
19.
Now you exploded damage.
Ooh.
So
Heck yes.
you hit him. You did 14 already. So that's already 1 maximized die and a reroll included. This does not include your mounted, and it does not include your charge. So you need to roll 2d6 more to add to that.
So badass.
So
Okay,
that's
so you have hit
6 more.
20. You hit 20 worth of damage, and that
Do I
is
need to
going to
reroll
move
the
him down to
explosion?
grievously wounded.
Do I need to reroll the exploded dice too?
It did that for you.
It already did that
Oh,
for
it
you.
did it for me.
Like,
Oh, cool, cool, cool.
It already did that for you.
Perfect.
Can you
Uh,
go through an explanation of how this damage is applying again? I mean, I kind
What-
of caught it, but it didn't
What's the question?
quite gel. So he's done 20 damage. You said earlier there was
Yes.
something called a damage threshold.
Yes, if
which
you
I
look on
don't
your
see.
talents and trappings page for your character sheet there, Jeff,
Okay. Uh-huh.
you will see a very large box where it says DTM, damage threshold. It's right underneath your parry, I believe.
Yeah, underneath dodge and parry. Yeah.
So the big box is the first number. That's how much damage incoming has to happen for you to take 1 health level. There's a series of 3 boxes next to it that go up by 6 each time. 1 fury die worth of damage.
Mhm.
If the number total passes each one of those, that's an extra level of damage you take on that same hit.
Got it. Okay.
The same with peril. When you look at the first page, you have the same thing for peril when that happens.
Got you.
So,
I
makes
don't
sense.
want to screw myself over, but it does say my spear only inflicts moderate and serious injuries.
yes. So here's the thing: you can inflict a moderate injury at grievous. You just can't roll on the grievous injury table, which is the
Oh,
really
okay.
good one. But you can roll on moderate. So
Or serious.
Now here's the thing: because he's grievously wounded, when they hit seriously wounded, or no, moderately wounded, they roll 1d6 base. At seriously wounded, they roll 2d6. At grievously wounded, it's 3d6 to check as a base. So you're going to roll 3d6 and see if any of them come up as a 6 for injury.
So I just roll 3d6?
Yep. We're not adding them together, we're just looking for 6s. And you
1
got
6.
one. So now you can't roll on the grievous table, you can only roll on the serious, because your weapon is considered weak. Martial weapons are pretty much the only weapons that get to go up to the big boy table. Now I will tell you though, every injury table, if you roll high enough in that like 97 to 100 range, it moves you up a table. And I don't care if your weapon says weak, if you roll it on the table, you're going up to the big boy table. That's just how it works. So again, page 365, because it's injury time, give me a percentile roll to see what you do to this poor sellsword.
25.
25, and you're on the serious injury chart.
Awesome.
Busted kneecap.
Ah! Take that.
Until fully recuperated, any time you fail a skill test that relies on brawn or agility, you suffer 2d10 plus 2 physical peril. That's nasty.
That sounds brutal. Just like getting your kneecap blown out.
Getting your kneecap blown out sucks. Now, Chuck, you did have to take 3 corruption for your injury.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put
So
that
don't
down.
forget that.
I would not want to.
If you have an injury happen to you, it corrupts your soul. So, you just corrupted this guy's soul. Because that just happened to him. So, you bust his kneecap, he drops down to a knee instantly from your spear. Your spear must have struck up in the shin, the knee area. Or maybe your horse hit it on the way by. But whatever happened along the way there, you hit him good. And that'll take us then to Wolfram's turn.
Do I have any additional AP? I don't know.
No, a charge is 2, the movement was 1 to ride, that makes you 3. Unless you want to spend a fortune to have an extra AP.
If it's okay with the group, I would like to.
Yeah.
What would you like to do then for an additional action?
I just want to cycle back so I can cycle charge, so I can go back out and come back in.
Oh, okay, so make another handle animal to turn your horse around. And this is just standard. This is not
Handle animal or ride?
A ride, sorry, yeah, we decided it's ride.
Right, here we go. Ride the horse.
Oh, he does not seem to want to cooperate.
I failed.
He's got that bloodlust. He doesn't want to leave.
Yeah, you can't get him to stop, so you could spend another fortune to re-roll that, or you can just wait till next turn and get yourself turned around.
I'll wait till next turn.
Okay. That brings us again to the Wolfram.
All right. Well, I said I wasn't going to abuse this mechanic, but since we're outnumbered a lot, I'm going to go ahead with it. So I am going to do a perilous stunt on this guy.
As of course you should as a rake.
And I'm going to go with the devastating knockout, since I get to treat foes as defenseless or surprised.
All right. So he's a rake as a profession, and they have a trait called Magnificent Bastard.
Named after me.
And what Magnificent Bastards do is they're really good at sneak attack punches and stunts. So everyone is considered defenseless against his stunt. And when you're defenseless, you don't get to resist. So all he has to do is succeed in the roll, which is an athletics check, I believe, for knockout.
It is. I'm not good at it. It's going to be great.
Yep. That's fine, though. Make your knockout roll.
Happens.
And you have failed. Would you like to fortune point that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I will. We'll give it a second shot here. Come on, baby.
Oh, nope.
All right.
So,
well,
the only way the rake can fail at a perilous stunt is to not make the check. So you burn your
Which I
first
will do a lot
AP,
of.
you try it, you swing and you miss against this sellsword. You still have 2 AP plus your banked 1 automatic for a parry. What would you like to do
Okay.
with your other 2 AP?
just for clarity here, the guys on the cart had a crossbow, right?
Yes, the one on the cart had a crossbow, and he's already fired it at Ivan. He
Okay,
has
so
to.
he's
He'll
turned
spend
the
most of
other
the next round reloading.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and just do it. I think I'll only do 1 perilous stun around, so I'm going to go with
Correct.
just a strike with the staff.
All right, then
And,
that's a combat roll. That's simple melee,
All right. Also not good at this.
where you can use your. Yep. Would
that's
you like to re-roll that
right.
one with a fortune?
No, I think I'll let that one stand, and I will bank an extra point for defense.
Okay.
Make sure I don't get shot here.
All right then. So that will take us to Ivan.
Okay, so the guy that I had my gun on, he climbed up into the wagon. He
Yep.
grabbed his crossbow. Crossbow is still loaded, right?
Both drivers, by the way, just go duck for cover. They're just hiding.
Okay.
They're not
That's
combatants.
Absolutely cool. So yeah, I want to do a disarm on
Okay.
the dude's crossbow.
All right, so you're going to disarm the reeve.
Yep. Make a coordination test. Here, what's the difficulty?
A standard.
All right. There.
That's not a success. Would you like to
I'm gonna
reroll that
fortune
check?
point. Yeah, I'm gonna fortune point that.
There you go.
There we go.
So he grabs his arbalist crossbow, turns around, and you knock the thing right out of his hands, and it tumbles to the ground. It's not loaded anymore. The arrow falls out. The bolt falls out.
Okay.
So
Cool. And the guy with the busted out kneecap, does he still look like a threat?
he's grievously wounded. His knees buckled in kind of backwards, and like he's down on the ground. He's still got his mortuary sword in his hand. You
Okay.
know, cell swords are pretty tough types. Like,
I want to try and do a litany of hatred.
okay,
So that'll be my second AP. Mainly, I'm going to try and, with this intimidate test. Standard or no?
yeah, standard's fine.
I'm trying to get the reeve and the fucked up sellsword to.
Now, Chuck, I was gonna stop you before you rolled, but you rolled.
Sorry.
Your flip to fail on brawn because of your pulled muscle
shit.
injury.
Oh, I forgot about that. What?
So your 53
That's
ain't
fine.
gonna cut it.
It's not. Okay.
Would you like to take a different action based on you not remembering your injury?
No, the
Okay.
dice fell where they fell. I'm cool with keeping it.
Okay, so you try it, but you're grimacing too much from your injury to be able to. Yeah, you try to move, and it just you clearly look limp as well. So the sellsword's not buying. They're not buying that you're combat effective right now either. So that's your second
Okay.
AP. What would you like to do with your third one?
I didn't want to kill the guy, but I think I have to. I'll just go stab the sellsword. Nope, I can't because I have to pull my stiletto out. I'll just club him over the head with my pistol.
Okay, we'll just call that an improvised weapon for simple melee.
Sounds great to me. Standard difficulty?
Yeah. He's only down on a knee. He's not prone. So
Right.
you succeed. So do your D6 plus your combat bonus, or your brawn bonus in this case, because it's a pummeling.
Plus my brawn bonus is 4. 7.
Okay, that will be enough to put him down.
Cool.
So you hit him, and he falls over to the ground, technically slain at that point. His mortuary sword clinks to the ground next to him.
Got him. Alright, that's the end of my turn. I'm out of AP. I embarrassed myself. Good
All
turn.
right, so the Reeve's turn. Reeve number 1, who just watched you hit the sellsword, he's just going to attempt another takedown on you from behind. So because he's behind you now, I'm going to consider his attack easy. And your resist will thus be hard. Or, yeah, it would thus be hard.
Was
Oh,
this-
he critically fails. Oh.
Huh.
So, anytime you roll a double in Zweihander, it's a critical. Whether it's a success or failure depends on what the final total of your target rating was. If it's a double and it's under your rating, it's a critical success. If it's double and it's over, it's a critical fail. In this case, he did not have more than a 77% chance to succeed, even at easy. So he unfortunately has critically failed. You cannot fortune or misfortune reroll a critical. Once it happens to you, it happens to you. Whenever you critically fail in combat, you take 2d10 plus 2 peril. So I have to roll that for him first. So he takes 14 peril.
Solid.
It's a good turn.
That's grim and perilous.
There you
Yes. So he stumbles past Ivan through some fierce, like just fate of luck or whatever that the red-headed smuggler has going for him, and he stumbles past. He spends a second AP to pull a stiletto, and a third AP to take an actual stab at Ivan.
go. Okay.
Now, that's enough for a hit.
Yeah.
Did you have anything banked for defense?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm living dangerous.
Oh, that's nasty.
Ugh.
Yikes. Okay.
So that's 14, Chuck.
Fuck, that moves me down to grievously wounded.
You're having a good run of things here, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, there is no injury.
Yes.
And since you already have one, I won't maximize the second one on you.
I appreciate that.
So that makes us even on the karma bank today, Chuck. So
That's it. That's it. I'm cool with that.
So you're grievously wounded. You're bleeding badly, and this reeve has just stabbed you, and he's looking at you now, and he says to you, "Now I have to make sure his widow's well compensated."
I tried. Listen, I tried to make this peaceful like. He did not work. I did not shoot you.
The reeve on top of the second cart pulls a second. You see he puts foot at the front of the Arbalest crossbow and he pulls back the string. He's loading this thing up. He's loading quick. He has Arbalest speed. So he'll be able to reload this thing in next to no time, and he's got it pointed back at Ivan again. And he's going to spend his last AP then to shoot.
Fuck.
Man, going for blood.
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
it's good knowing you, Ivan.
I got a fate point. It's fine.
Yeah, he's got a fate point.
Everything's fine.
Oh,
I
fails.
believe-
Everything
you,
is
Ivan.
great.
Alright, so he fires. It goes wide. It hits the ground.
Yes.
Chuck gets to live another round.
I do.
So one cell sword is dead. The other is currently engaged with Wolfram. And that cell sword is now rather frustrated because you're disobeying commands. And so he's going to go ahead and take you down to the ground.
Now look here. You're being attacked by vagrants in the back, and you're wasting your time on me.
Yeah, apparently he is. I'm going to misfortune point that one.
Okay.
Hey, now that's a success. Now you have to resist a takedown with
Coordination.
coordination.
I'm at least good at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Let's just get a success. All I need.
Yes, you need a success. And
There
you
you go.
have it. So he tries to take you down, and you're able to shrug it off, and you don't go down to the ground. For his second AP, he's going to come up with his mortuary sword. And this time, because you took a swing at him, he's going to strike.
Okay. I automatically parry it if he succeeds.
And he does succeed. And you have lightning reflexes, so you will automatically parry.
Yeah, I banked a
Yep.
defense point. So
You did.
Yep.
So you knock his blow right out of the way. And for his third AP, he is going to Litany of Hatred you.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's like the intimidation thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And he succeeds. So what Litany of Hatred does is it reduces your peril and your damage thresholds by 1 as a base. So underneath where you see the those series of boxes we looked at on both, you put a -1 in the teeny tiny little modifier box there underneath it.
Any resistance to this, or does it just happen?
Nope. Litany of
Happens.
Hatred, if they make the roll, it happens.
Okay. So
Now there isn't.
that one.
You can do a inspiring words, and that would counter it because that would add 1 to everyone on your side.
Okay.
So he's cussing
And
you
that's-
out.
And this is something he has a special abilities on him?
Everyone has
Anyone
a
can do
special
it.
ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like anyone can do Litany of Patron. And it's just how good are you at the proper role. It's leadership for inspiring words, and it's
Intimidate.
intimidate. Yeah, for
So
Um,
I am good at that.
Litany of Patron.
Not even a little bit. Okay.
So it's just a matter of how good you are skilled at it. So that ends his turn. Asher, you have rode past, and you couldn't get your horse turned around. So this is your next attempt at getting to do so.
Yes.
Hey, sister.
So, what are the what would be the penalties if I moved out of engagement with these fellas and moved into engagement with this driver over here to make sure he doesn't try anything smart like getting away?
Do you want to just charge past the one you were in and charge into the next one?
Yep.
Okay. You're on a horse. You have enough movement as long as you make your ride check.
Well, come on, low shot. Work
So
with
that's your
me.
first AP.
Be a good horse. Be a good horse. Is it a routine check or just a check?
Yeah, it's standard at this point. You're in combat.
I have one horse. He's good at war.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's standard.
All right.
Oh,
96.
that's no good.
I would like to spend a misfortune point or a fortune point.
And you've done so.
Oh, come on.
I think you said it right the first time.
Hey, there you go.
Oh.
So
27.
you got your horse calmed. He kind of whinnies for a second, but you get him calmed, and he charges into the next combat. So that brings
Ivan,
you.
you're doing great. I'll be right
That brings
back.
you down there because you're now engaged with that sellsword. Or are you going for the driver?
I'm trying to get the driver on the cart.
The driver's went and hid.
oh, okay,
You want
he's
the reeve that's on top of the the first cart?
not-
You
I'll get
have
the guy that's
reach.
messing with Wolfram. Yeah, I'll get the guy that's messing with Wolfram.
Okay, so you're charging past that cart. You're going to hit the guy who's over there dealing with your dwarf friend.
Yep.
Okay, so you're down there in the engagement with him now.
I'm gonna cycle charge. That's my.
So
that's my
you
power.
can spend your 2 AP for charge.
Go. And I get a plus 10 for being on a horse. Or I'll just call it a routine check to add that in so I don't screw something up. 29.
Boy, you exploded damage again.
And
So
I roll the
yes,
other
you have
2d6.
yeah, you did 14. You did
18 total.
18 total. So that will move him down. That's 2 levels for him.
It's a good thing we got this guy in our group.
Right?
Man, bringing the pain.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that puts him down to moderately wounded. So you get to roll the d6 to check for injury.
Point me at the bad guys. As long as you come up with a plan, we'll be good.
No injury unless you want to spend a fortune point to maximize it.
I'm okay.
Okay, so you did 2 levels of damage to him. You stick him real good as you ride past. That brings
That
us
is
to
the end of
Wolfram.
my turn.
Look, see, he just speared you in the back. I told you you're wasting your time on me.
And then I'm gonna throw some pocket sand in his face.
Ooh, there you go.
All right, dirty
Nice.
tricks.
That's right. So guile test. All right. Find guile. There it is down there. I might actually succeed at this for once.
You did. You succeeded. So he's blinded. Actually, he
Alright.
has to resist, I think, toughness first.
He's a rake.
Oh, that's right. I can't resist. You're a
That's
rake.
nice.
So yeah, he is blinded. You got him good.
All right. Is there? Yeah. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and whammo him. Hopefully. Yep.
Since he's blinded, that makes it an easy combat attack, and it will thus be hard for him to try to parry it.
Okay. So you want me to toggle mine to easy and then?
Yes, toggle yours to easy, and then I have to subtract before I roll on mine.
Well, come on.
Would you like to fortune point that?
Yeah. Otherwise, we're not getting through this.
Oh, still didn't quite make it.
Ugh.
gotta quit rolling so high, Jeff. It works well in Pathfinder when you're killing us as GM, but it does not work so well in Zweihander.
It's my only skill.
Is rolling high.
Yeah. Well, I will save my last point, I guess.
Well, he's still blinded, so you got that going for you.
Yep. The other guy's got a bow, so...
Ivan?
Oh, is it my turn again?
This guy stabbed you. You're not doing so hot.
Oh, I'm not doing so hot.
Can't believe that sun flew up from his horse's hooves.
Yeah,
Right in your eyes.
I'm gonna disarm him again. What is that? Coordination?
It is.
Yeah, let's do a coordination test. Gosh. Alright. A coordination test. Standard?
Yeah, stand.
Alright.
Would you like to fortune point that one too, Chuck?
Yes, I would, please.
You guys are on fire today. So you try the grab him by the wrist and twist maneuver, and it does not seem to do anything.
I want to use the rest of my AP to dive under the wagon.
Okay.
Try to run away.
That'll be. We'll call that a taking cover. So just give me a coordination roll.
Yeah. There we go.
And you successfully take cover.
Okay. And that's it. I just want to hide.
The Reeves'
and
turn.
Cry a little bit.
All right. So Reeve number 1, he's up on top of that cart, and he's fired and he's angry. He pulls another bow, another bolt, and he puts his foot in the front of that arbalist crossbow, and he pulls back, reloads it, turns around to the front, and sees that cavalry member who just stabbed his other partner. He's going to take a shot at the mounted guy.
It is good waste of your turn. Ha 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 ha. I cannot be struck by attacks made by ranged weapons after I charge.
Ooh. Well, he tries it anyway. You have spirited, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
As a dragoon, whenever he charges, he cannot be hit by ranged attacks, but the Reeve would not understand that. So he does, however, load that bow, take a shot, and it misses.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's his turn.
I'm having a great time while you guys are getting beat up.
I haven't been hurt yet, thankfully. I'm just not doing anything successfully.
At the end of the Reeve's turn... Oh, the other Reeve. The one on Chuck. We got to deal with that one first. He's got his stiletto. He's looking at you. You dive underneath the cart. He drops down kind of to a knee, and you're kind of rolling over to the other side. He says, I'll track that trail of blood you're leaving behind you. We'll find you. The law always finds their man.
Well, you keep telling yourself that, but you still think you're walking away from today.
And he's gonna spend he'll have to spend almost all of his AP to dash around the cart just to find you on the other side.
That's rude.
So that's what he is gonna do, is so that he can try to get over there, is you have to get up on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the end of his turn. The sellsword that's now been stabbed, he sees the rider, right on past. He turns around and sees what's going on, and he says to the other driver, he says, "Get back in the seat! The cargo must make it!" He's going to intimidate the driver to get back in the seat and ride. He fails.
Oh, don't worry, the cart is going to make it home anyway.
He critically succeeds. And so after a fortune reroll there, misfortune, the sellsword convinces the driver, and the driver hops back up into the thing and grabs the reins. He goes, "Hi!" And that first cart starts to take off. Without the sellsword on it, just the reeve up top. And that'll take us to... The other sellsword is... Oh, he's got more AP. For his second AP, he can't do anything to the horse rider because you drove past on your charge. So he will have to, once again, try to take the dwarf down.
So is anything negative applied since he's blinded?
He is at hard.
Okay.
And because of that, he fails.
Yes. It's good because a 35 looks like it should have hit.
It would have if he hadn't been blinded. So I'm going to re-roll that.
On.
Oh, critically failed.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Take
there we
that.
go.
Critically failed.
Ah.
So he takes peril. Because, that's a thing.
I don't know if you should be fighting.
15 peril he takes.
That seems like a lot. On 2d10?
What?
That's a lot for a 2d10.
It is. Plus 2. So yeah, 15.
He's having a great time fighting the dwarf. Yeah.
So he loses his weapon in the midst of trying to... Oh, J Brews is here. Thanks, J Brews, for the sub.
Hey! Thank you.
So he fumbles his weapon blinded. He takes a wild swing, and the mortuary sword comes loose, and it flips a little way and sticks into the ground, and he's got one arm up over his eyes. He's not liking life right now at all. So he is also disarmed.
Well, that saves me my next action.
And so for his last AP, he's going to spend one searching the ground for his sword, which will give him just a standard chance of finding it. And he does not. Alright, so that takes us to Asher.
I think I heard tell that driver's trying to get away. I would like
You
to go
see
and prevent him
you're
from doing
charging
that.
on your horse, but you're starting to slow to turn around. And about that time, you see the cart is starting to move past you. The team of 2 horses and the driver, and they're starting to move.
I'm gonna go get that guy.
All right. So this is going to take us into a chase scene. So we are going to fluidly move from combat to chase scene involving Asher.
You guys got this, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe.
We're just mostly dead.
All right. So, I forgot to look real fast. How many fortune do we have?
5
We
fortune
have
and 1
5
misfortune.
fortune.
Yeah, 5 to 1. That's right. All right. So, for everybody here at home, this is the format for chase scenes in Zweihander. So, the way this works is the cart, as you see there, it's at round 1. It has a very small head start on you, so it gets a bonus of 3. And what it is D10 plus your movement, which for you is the movement of the horse.
What is the movement of my horse? I have a round seahorse.
Yeah, that's in Mangaush. That's why it's not coming up in the compendium.
This will be interesting.
Okay, your round seahorse is 7 plus AB.
Plus my AV?
Yes.
So 7 plus 4, 11.
Yes, so you're rolling a D10 plus 11.
Interesting.
Then I can just go ahead and roll that.
The carriage moves at 7 plus their BB.
Yep, only 3 horses were in this.
So yeah, you can roll a d10 plus 11, and I will roll a d10 plus 9.
Don't run, Tavares. You'll just die tired. 18.
Nice.
Oh, okay. So he had a 3 head start on you, and with that roll, you're going to catch him after 1 round.
Wow.
So you charge up behind this cart, and you have already... So move yourself over to round 1, and you will see there that you have caught... You can't probably move your horse, too.
Yeah, I won't let me move my horse.
I'll work on grouping them together next time for you. So, because of your horse, you were able to catch this cart in almost no time.
Now, what is determining that? Like, obviously
So-
you roll higher, but...
It only had a head start of 3. So I have to add 3 plus my roll, and that gives me I have a 9, so that's 14, that's a 17. So he has beaten the head start value plus my roll. Now, if I had a bigger head start value, it might take more rounds. If he doesn't beat me by so much, it may take multiple rounds. This was going to be a 3-round chase. He had 3 rounds to catch it, otherwise it escapes.
Okay, so you just... Whatever the... Okay, I think that's
Right.
what you're saying.
3 rounds worth of this sort of movement, and you would be within sight of Huttenberg, and you wouldn't be able to assault the wagon
there'd be
anymore than
guards
you
or
see.
whatever.
So, and it could have been a really long chase. I could have made it 9 rounds if you guys were like really out towards Treefell. We could have made this like a really long chase, but because his horse is so much quicker than the cart carriage, apparently he's going to catch it in no time. So once you've caught it, you have to make a coordination roll in order to get it stopped.
Coordination. That's an agility check. Okay. Is it just the standard coordination?
Yeah, we're just calling them standard at this point.
Come on. Guy who's the only one succeeding in our group.
That is
Oh,
not
I
a
would-
success.
I would like to spend the fortune point to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Use it up.
We can't let
Better
him
for
get
you
away.
than us.
Oh,
72.
no.
Still not great.
So you're trying to get this driver to stop, but you don't have any way of effectively getting him to stop. Your spear's just not long enough to really strike at him at this point. And you don't think that you can leap from your horse to get onto the wagon either.
I'll get him.
Hmm.
So back to the combat map.
Oh boy.
Good luck, boys.
Yeah.
Asher, you are now going to be... Well, we're going to continue to see you at short range. To that driver. And to the reeve that are still on top of the cart. Because you're riding alongside the wagon. Trying to get it to stop. So for combat purposes, that's where you're going to be.
Okay.
Wolfram, it's your turn.
Now look, I've been trying to explain to you, I am not the enemy.
And then I will kick his mortuary sword deeper away from him into the grass.
Okay, that's 1 AP.
Second action, since he seems to be wanting to take me down a bunch, I'm going to return the favor. So I'm going to try to hook his heel with my staff and just trip him up.
Alright, it's a coordination check.
Yeah, I might actually be good at that.
Not quite that good. Would you like to re-roll that, Jeff?
Yes. That's ridiculous. I'm assuming I still have the easy challenge on him since he's blind, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Hey!
He
finally.
is taken down. He cannot resist because you're a magnificent bastard.
You're damn right.
So he is taken to the ground and is now prone. Would you like to take
Okay.
your last attack on him while prone? You would do
You
an
said the
extra
other
fury
guys
die.
on the... Yeah, I get that. The guys on the cart that had the crossbows, he's still aiming towards me at all, or is
Nope.
he just away, gone?
One's back there looking for Ivan, and the other is aiming. He's reloading and aiming towards the rider that's riding up alongside him. You're not his concern any longer.
Can I see that Ivan's in trouble?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
how far am I from Ivan?
It'll take you a round worth of movement to get over there to him.
Alright. I could take an advantage on this guy, but I think it's better that I get over there and save his ass. So I'm gonna barrel on over there.
All right, so you'll give up advantage on the sellsword, and you'll take off running towards Ivan to give him some help.
Hoping that'll give me enough of a head start being tripped and disarmed.
Yeah. Ivan?
And blind.
I'm going to use... God, I'm going to regret everything. I'm going to use 2 AP to stand up.
Okay.
And then... I'm going to try and disarm again. I got to stop him from stabbing me.
That is a good try.
Yeah, so let me roll that coordination test. Standard difficulty?
Yeah, still standard.
You are being quite rude.
Oh, fortunate.
Look, I'm going to fortune point that.
No, so close.
Man, one of these days we're gonna succeed.
We
and
are.
I.
So close.
That's my turn.
The reeve,
Uh-huh.
once again, attempts to take you down to the ground.
Oh,
And you have to resist with
Coordination.
coordination.
Oh,
Oh, you do.
I do.
that a boy. Nicely done.
Well, if you can't take them down and they resist, I guess we gotta try to stab him.
Yeah.
Come on, don't die.
Oh, he misses. He takes a wild swing and just catches nothing.
That is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For his 3rd AP, he litany of hatreds you.
Of course he does.
This guy.
It's fine.
Yes, he does. So take -1 to your damage and peril thresholds.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'm in rough shape.
Yeah, you are. So you're a ruffian?
Ah.
The other reeve has his arbalist reloaded, because he has arbalist speed. And he takes a look at Asher, who's running up beside him. And since you didn't charge attack that turn, he can actually shoot you this time. He's going to.
Rude. I tried to charge attack, but it wouldn't let me.
Oh, he misses. I'm spinning. I'm re-rolling that one.
Oh, don't shoot me. I'm trying to catch you.
Hey, that's gonna do it.
Oh, no. Here's where we all die.
Mhm.
So, you don't have you have 1 AP left. Would you like to attempt a parry?
Oh, yeah, I think I
Actually,
have to.
it's range. You have to dodge. You can't parry a ranged attack. You have to dodge a ranged attack. So,
I would like to try it. Does the wooden shield help with that at all?
ooh, you have a wooden shield.
It does.
I do have a wooden shield.
Yeah, it gives you a 10 per. Well, does it?
It lets you do dodge or parry.
It lets you
On
parry
ranged attacks.
ranged attacks. That's true. Yes. So you can attempt a parry instead of a dodge.
Okay, and do I get a 10 parry modifier to that?
Yes, for defensive. It's a defensive item, so it gives you 10% chance to parry.
Okay, so if I just click routine and then click parry, it'll give me a chat.
Yep, you're right.
Here we go. Don't shoot me. I don't like that. 51 out of 63.
There you
And
go.
you take your or you take your shield and you raise it up there, and the bolt plants right into the wooden, stuck into the wooden part of your shield, and you lower it back down, and the reeve looks just angry. And he yells,
I almost
Can't
felt
you-
that in my prosthetic arm.
he yells, "Can't you get this thing moving any quicker?"
Well, we might survive around here. We'll see.
The sellsword
Switch targets.
is going to spend 1 AP, and he's going to make a very difficult awareness check to try to pinpoint where the sound of his sword went when you kicked it.
Screw you, buddy.
He does not make it.
Nice.
So he's feeling around, and I'm going to give him just kind of a luck roll. Okay, that's not good enough. He does not find his sword this round after spinning his AP, and he's still cursing, but there's no one around to get Litany of Hatreded, so his turn is done. Asher, you have caught up last turn. This turn, you are now in combat as you ride alongside the carriage. You do not have to go back to chase scene rules, unless you do something like failure handle animal. which we have to do for your first AP.
Handle it! Handle it!
Very hopeful. It's gonna do it. It's gonna get it for us. It's gonna win it for us.
You can do it.
Handle that animal. Hey, Alex.
Alex.
Handle the animal.
Sorry. I'm going to handle the animal.
I thought he was trying to plug it in his sheet. I was like, okay, it'll be there in a second. Yeah, you
did
got to
too,
make a
but-
handle animal to keep your horse riding alongside this wagon as you're in combat.
We got this. We got this. Here we go. 39
Oh, nice.
39.
Nice.
What does
That
that mean?
succeeds exactly.
Yeah.
So you are charging right up there alongside of him, and you've got a weapon with some reach. You
I
can
would
hit
like to
the
poke
driver.
real hard.
You
Yeah, I
cannot
wanna kill
hit the
driver.
reeve up top. He's too far. Oh no, I put him
The
at short
driver's
range,
the
didn't
one that
I?
get.
Yeah, he's technically. You would be considered within reach of the driver. Boy, hitting the reeve would be tough.
Well, he's going for the driver anyway.
You're going for the driver
I'm
anyway?
gonna get the driver.
Okay.
You are surprisingly bad at handle animal.
Well, it's a fellowship thing, and I'm really bad with people.
Yeah.
He's really
No,
bad
I've
with living
noticed.
things.
It's like you're bad at that, I'm bad at combat. It's like we're really good at the things we're supposed to be good at here.
Sean, I'm sorry. I keep saying handle animal. You should have been making ride, but you made it, so we're going to honor it. I think your ride skill's actually better than your handle animal.
Just slightly.
Just slightly, but
Yeah,
You're fine.
Okay, so, is this considered a charge attack?
no.
Or just a regular
It's
attack?
just an attack. All your movement is keeping up with him.
Perfect. Awesome. But I'm still on a horse.
You're still on a horse, though. That still counts. So,
Get him.
Here we go. Boom!
oh my god!
What
is your damage doing today?
You missed.
Look at that. He has rolled a 6. Every time he
That's
has rolled
crazy.
damage, he has rolled a
Yeah,
6.
I would like to spend a fortune point to reroll the hit.
Absolutely.
You want to maximize the second one, too?
Well, he
No,
he
I
missed.
missed. I didn't hit.
Oh, you didn't hit.
Yeah,
You're right.
I missed.
I
Yeah.
completely noticed the damage and ignored the fact that you didn't hit with
It was a tremendous number. It was 17 for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
crowd if you don't see it. That's
Yeah, so
ridiculous.
re-roll that.
Alright. Ah, still
Ah.
just missed.
So yeah, you take a stab through there, and the driver kind of moves, and it kind of comes up past him a bit, and he starts to really at those horses to try to get that carriage a moving.
So I moved the horse. I took an attack. Can I? Is that 2 AP or 3?
That is 2 AP. You have 1 you can bank for parry, or you can spend it to do a perilous stunt.
I will bank it for parry just in case
Okay.
that guy shoots at me again.
Yeah, that's all you can really do at this point. So, Wolfram,
All
you
right.
have made your way to the back wagon, and you see Ivan and a reeve are tangled up in fisticuffs, and Ivan is not looking good. And they're fighting over a stiletto.
Okay. So, they're fighting over a stiletto like it's in between them?
Yeah,
Well,
they're
he's got a
grabbing each
stiletto.
other like they're fighting over the
Yeah.
knife.
I
Like,
see. Okay.
keep trying to take it away.
Well, I'm going to rush up, and I'm going to use my perilous stunt to... we're going to knock this guy down and do it the
are you going
takedown.
for takedown, or are you going for knockout? You can do either.
I'm not going to land knockout. It's we're going to go with the
It's the
takedown.
one-shot kill if you do, though.
It is.
It's the haymaker.
But I need reliability to keep him from dying. So,
All right.
unless I can defend the other guy, can I do a parry to help a friend, or is that just only for myself?
No, there are talents that let you parry for someone else, if
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, in that case, I have a 39% chance to auto kill him, essentially, or a 52% chance to knock him on his ass.
Now, if you spend 1 AP and stealth up on him, I'll let you take it at easy. You'll get the foofop, you'll get the drop on him.
All right, we'll go for it, and in that case, we'll do the knockout.
So make the stealth check, and we'll see if you pass it first. And that's just going to be a standard stealth. He is preoccupied with the guy he's fighting over his knife with at the moment. Oh, that's a perfect stealth. That's great.
Hey,
Fantastic.
Not critical, but good
90s
enough.
Stonys.
So this will be an easy perilous stunt on this guy.
All right, an easy one.
This
That's
is the cliche sap over the back of the head, take him out in one knockout punch if you can make it happen.
Come on, baby. Oh my!
Would you like to reroll that, Jeff?
I would like to reroll that. This is ridiculous. Come on, dice.
There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
7.
All right, so you walk up there and you cold cock him in the back of the head, and he drops to the ground.
I could see you are needing a bit of a hand up.
Oh, this is very appreciated. I thought I was dead for sure.
Ivan, you have the knife.
I have the knife.
The reeve is out.
I'm not.
What's your BB, Jeff?
My BB is 5.
Your BB is 5.
It is 5.
He's out for 5 rounds.
Yeah. I'm,
What's the rules of the road say about this one, Chuck?
It's a good question.
listen, he has been in a surrendered state, but I fear he will have a grudge. So, I finish him off.
All right. So
Yep,
for
definitely
1
have a
AP
grudge.
on your turn, because it is your turn,
Yeah.
because he is now helpless, once you knock him out, he goes from defenseless to helpless. If someone is helpless, you spend an AP, and you just end their life in Zweihander. It's coup de grace.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Wolfram, you knock this guy down, and you see Ivan just take the stiletto and just slit his throat, and that is all she wrote for this guy. So let's talk about corruption. This is the point where, at this point, it's 9 for Chuck, and I'm gonna hit Wolfram for 6 for being the accomplice.
Okay.
Since you just aided and abetted what ended up being this man's vicious murder in the road, and he's just a law-abiding cop.
So I have
Yeah.
a peril threshold of 6.
Corruption
this
doesn't
isn't-
help you with that part.
Oh.
Scroll up on to the top of the sheet, and there's the circle, the bold circle with corruption.
Got it. Okay.
Plug your 6 into
Now-
that.
Speaking of peril, has Wolfram ever seen anybody brutally murdered? I'm guessing probably not.
Probably not.
So we're going to make a resolve check, and this resolve check's going to just be standard. I'm not going to make it super hard or anything, but this will check for peril.
All right. That roll.
That's a critical fail.
Yeah, let's do we have any tokens left?
You
You
you can't token a critical.
Oh. Well, okay, critical fail.
So you take 16 peril.
Ugh.
Now on your
Seems
peril
like a number
track,
that's big.
on the first page, see how many levels that pushes you down.
That would push me down 2.
So you go from unimpaired, I think, or unhindered is the first level, and then you move down to imperiled, and then
Ignore 1 skill.
ignore 1 skill rank. So now you've hit that level of peril. You're shaken up by what you just witnessed. You can no longer access any of those skills. So
Okay.
all those skills that were given your plus 10, you're currently not getting to use them. You're only using your base attribute right now. Now the good news about being
Nice.
basic to your characters, it doesn't get any worse for you for the next 2 levels until you hit incapacitated. It only matters for how hard it is to get rid of the peril back up to the point that you can use your skills
Gotcha.
again. And if you're flipped to
Alright.
fail on a skill because it was an asterisk, you're now flipped to fail because you don't have access to that rank. So some of those
Okay.
skills that you were okay in a minute ago, you're not going to be able to do right now because you're shaken up over what you just witnessed.
It was pretty bad. It was really bad.
So
Ivan!
that ends the reeve though, and does save Ivan's life.
Listen, he was going to hold a grudge. It's us or him. If not today, then tomorrow.
Now, Ivan,
He was a defenseless man.
I'm not exactly sure you're that immune to having to murder a person either. So how about you go ahead and make
Yeah.
that same resolve roll?
That's fair. I didn't want to kill him. Listen, I'm all about
You
that.
didn't
petty
want to,
crime.
but you did. So consequences are
Yeah.
Are a mother.
Absolutely. What was the difficulty on
It's
that resolve
standard.
test?
Just standard.
All right. Oh yeah. Hard
Yeah, we're
fail.
not feeling good about this.
No, this is
96.
You take 5.
okay. That will move me down though.
Jeff's is only double because he critically failed.
Yes.
It was a doozy.
So,
it was a real bad
I am
time.
now imperiled.
You're not nearly as shaken up as your friend is, but he needs to be an aristocrat. He's not used to this sort of action. Like
It-
he's that journalist who came out into the field and he's just
Yep.
not prepared. So
I was ready to steal some carts, to rough some people up. Cheeky shenanigans is what I was out for.
yeah, you thought you knocked this guy out and you guys would just ride off with the wagon. It'd be cool. He'd wake up tomorrow, with a bruise. No, he ain't waking up tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
Maybe we will be lucky and we can spare the lives of, everyone except for that one asshole that you blinded.
Now, Ivan, you still have 2 more AP.
Oh, that's right.
I don't want to
do.
deprive you of any more actions here, but you have a driver and a cart.
You could murder somebody else.
He's right.
I'll just move over to the cart. Where's the driver at for this cart? Is he still in the cart?
He's over on the side of the road hiding in the grass.
I'll go up and I want to talk to this driver, so I'll use an AP to move up to him.
As you start moving up, he just throws the paperwork out there. He says,
Thank you,
take it,
friend.
take it. It ain't worth it.
I agree with this. No one wanted this. Please leave now and we will...
The maestro, he'll find you and he'll take care of you, scum. But it isn't
you
worth me
going to-
dying over.
Are you going to tell the maestro what we look like?
No, I swear I won't say anything.
Good. You were free to go.
I won't have to. The maestro sees all anyway.
Yes, I have heard this, but it is not a thing I concerned. And that's it.
Okay.
I'll save my last AP.
Now the reeve up on the front.
Does he hear a Wilhelm scream?
He reloads his bow again and not have to take any other actions because he's just sitting on top of a cart. He's going to take another shot at our dragoon.
They're wasting your bolts.
And
See?
he did. We're going to re-roll it. Oh, critically fail.
Critical fail.
Ooh.
His
99.
it jams and the bolt fires back up in his own face.
Hey, well, that happens.
Happens all the time.
I would give you the chance to spend a fortune point if you want to maximize this damage die on him.
I say, yeah. I think that's a good use of a fortune point.
It seems very good, yeah.
So he'll take. He takes 2 levels of damage. He passes a coordination check to not fall off the cart backwards. And that'll be his entire round. As he will now have to spend an additional round unjamming his weapon. Or he may just throw the damn thing away, try something else, but that'll be the end of his turn. Asher, we're back to you. Let's start with that ride check.
I will keep up the ride check. I hope I don't lose these guys. We're working so hard. Let me make sure I don't have one.
It's just a very likely death.
94.
Oh.
You're not keeping up very well. You're starting to fall behind. Your horse has been charging for your horse was not intended for long sprints. He's a charger. They charge into combat and then they mostly stand there as combat takes place. Your horse is starting to get winded. You're not able to keep up. You're going to have to make a coordination check and make a jump for it onto the wagon, or you're going to lose it.
Oh, here we go.
And this is not exactly a standard roll. This is going to be challenging.
We'll take challenging. Alright, guys,
Never
if I
tell
fall
me
on my
guys.
face, I'm going to be so embarrassed.
This is fair.
Oh, critical success!
Oh, I rolled a 1? I rolled a
So Asher, you just leap from your horse and just grab on both feet right on the back of the cart and both hands. You just grab on like you've done this 100 times, like in the movies.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
You didn't even drop your shield or your spear.
The one skilled guy in our group
Yeah,
continues at it.
Wow.
absolutely.
So is that 2 AP?
That's 2 AP. You got one more.
I would like to spend my 3rd AP since I'm hanging on the back here. With my one hand. And I will say, driver, if you push that guy off and stop the cart, I'll spare you.
Make an intimidation check.
Nice.
That's critical fail.
Oh!
He is not. He is either doesn't hear you at the front because the galloping is so loud, or you're just not that intimidating while you're barely hanging onto the back of a wagon.
Roll 20 gives and roll 20 takes.
That's right.
man.
That's horrible. All right,
Nothing
well,
less impressive than a guy who expertly performs a deed.
Wolfram.
All right. So we still have stumbles around guy. Guy stumbles, huh?
Yeah, the guy up front who's trying to find his sword. Yeah, he's still up there.
Okay. So this cart looks like it stopped. Driver's not on it. Dude's dead.
Yeah, you've secured the second cart.
Yeah. Probably does not want to execute this dude. Feeling pretty bad about that last one. This dude is definitely going to keep fighting. What sort of rules would there be to tie like a lasso? Try to lasso this dude.
There's not really anything hard written for it.
Skullduggery.
Yeah, that's.
I'd say that's probably the closest to skullduggery.
So flip to fail. All right. Might as well try it.
If it makes it easier, like I said, you're flip to fail, but that's actually going to be. He's a pretty easy target. We're going to move you to easy for difficulty.
All right, let's give it a go. So I'll tie a lasso with the rope, and we will try to chuck it. See what happens.
Would you like to forge point that?
We only have one, right?
You only got one left.
No, because I think the card is more important.
Okay.
So I'll take, I guess, an action probably to reel the missing lasso back in, and then I will chuck it again.
You can't take same action twice in the round.
Ah,
You can reel it back in. You do have to do that for 1 AP.
okay.
But for your last action, you can move, or you can make an attack roll with something if you want to actually attack.
I think I'm going to move over to where the sword is, so that I can pick it up next turn.
Okay, that's fine. As long as he doesn't make a roll to find it this round, you're fine.
All right.
Ivan?
How far am I away from this sellsword?
A full round of movement. That's what it took for Wolfram to get back here to you.
He's not defenseless, is he?
Who, the blinded guy?
Yeah.
No, he's not defenseless at all. He's just blinded. In fact, I think the blinding's about to end, because it's been like 4 rounds.
What is the duration on that?
It's based on your combat bonus or your BB, depending on which one it was. You did Guile, right? So your FB.
That would
Yeah.
be,
So I'm sorry.
5.
How far am I from
Yeah,
this
so
dude?
one more round. What?
How far am I from this dude?
If you spend all your AP to move, you'll be on him next round.
Yeah. I'm going to start reloading my flintlock pistol.
That's
And
fair.
I'll use my turn for that.
All right. The Reeve, he spends this round. He spends this round done jamming his weapon, and next round will Arbalest load it.
Nice.
The sellsword up front is going to make his damn near miracle check while blinded to try to find his weapon. Oh, he found it. He only had a 10% chance.
That's ridiculous. Rolled a 9.
So he stumbles over there to it and he grabs hold of it. He can't see yet, but he does spend his second AP then to get to his feet. And a third AP, he kind of calls for the other sellsword, and there's no reply. So he kind of takes a defensive stance, like he's banking the other AP for parry.
Okay.
Asher, you're on the back of the cart.
I would like to climb on top of the cart and
That's 1 AP.
spear the driver.
You got a reeve in front of you first.
It's a reach weapon.
Yeah, it won't reach from the back all the way to the
I
front.
can spear
of
the
cart.
reeve first, though.
You can go for the reeve, though, if you want.
We'll go ahead and try and spear the reeve.
He's sitting there on his butt, so you've technically got him prone.
And my saddleborn still works when I'm at the top of a vehicle. I can
Yeah, it
push
does.
your wagon.
You still get your saddleborn, and he's an easy target, so add that together to make this a trivial attack.
Oh, I'm
Damn.
about to spear the crap out of you.
Yeah, you're
There
going
you
to,
go.
probably.
Skewer. Oh, I just missed.
Or not. Would you like to fortune point that last one?
No, I'll keep it.
Alright.
And I will go ahead and
Gonna perilous stunt?
a point for parry.
You're gonna bank it? Okay.
Yep. I don't want to get knocked off the cart and get all that rug burn.
Well, you see Ivan run up there, and you see that sellsword grab his sword and stand up.
Lad, you got to sit down on this one. Your boys are all dead. Don't want to make another one.
And I'm gonna knock him on his ass again with a perilous stunt.
You gotta spend a whole round like he does to run up there to get to him.
Oh. Didn't I spend my last AP on my last turn to run over to the weapon? And then you said that was okay.
Oh, that's right.
unless I
Yes,
sit up and
you
got
did.
it.
So yeah, you're running over there towards the weapon, and he picks it up before you get there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do another. Okay, so it took 1 AP for him to stand up, right? That's all it takes for him to get up.
Yeah. I think it's only 1 AP to get up. Is it 2?
Okay.
Okay, that was his whole turn. He doesn't have a parry then. I was thinking it was only 1, but you're right, it is 2, isn't it? Animal G
Yeah,
with the
and that-
sub. Thanks, Animal G.
Hey, nice. In that case, I'm gonna try to do another takedown on him.
All right, let's see it.
All right.
Success. He will
Nice.
resist with coordination. Oh, he can't resist. You're a rake. Magnificent bastard.
Set to easy, but I still passed it.
So boom, he
Um,
goes back down to the ground.
Look, lad, you need to stay down. Can't say what the others will do to you.
I don't know if that counts as an intimidate.
You've used 2 actions. Yeah, you can intimidate.
All right, I'm not gonna pass this, but I'll try it.
You did.
I did pass
There you
it
go.
with a freaking 12.
He drops his sword. He says, "All right, fine. That wagon's yours.
Good choice. Choice.
Just let me live. The Maester,
Take
he'll
one
take
away.
care of you scum anyway.
That's what they keep saying around here.
You don't know who you're dealing with, do you? You're not from around here.
That's definitely true. Not from around here.
Maester Bravo von Hilfrich. He is a Maester. You know what that title means, don't you?
Apparently not, because I failed my rumor check earlier.
That's true. you still don't know. He says it means he's an advisor to the Emperor himself. He has the Emperor's ear. He'll have the resources of the throne here in no time, looking for you scum for what you've done today.
Well, that would be most troubling if he were to find out.
He'll know
Sure
when
could
his
be a good
cargo
lad.
doesn't reach the academy. And then he'll come looking for it. And there isn't anywhere you can hide from the Maester.
It's a distinct possibility. Something we'll have to cross when we get there.
Good luck.
You fought well today.
Just get out of here before I change my mind.
Well, we're not going to be just leaving you ready to stab us in the back, so just hang still there for a moment.
Look. Just take the cart and go.
Oh, we're taking it.
I can't stab you in the back from here. I won't get up until you're done past me.
You'll let me tie your hands, or...
It's fine, bind me. Just leave my feet so I can walk back to Huttenberg.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I'll go ahead and tie him up.
Alright, you get his hands bound behind his back.
I'm gonna take his sword.
Oh, now come on, don't take that. That's how I make my living.
You'll get another one.
They'll make me pay for it.
Most likely. But, well... It's going to be a tough one for you. And I'd hate to be you to explain how you've lost 2 wagons, but you'll get through, I promise.
Go on, get out of here with it.
I'll toss him a couple coppers.
He spits down on the ground at him.
That's fine.
This job was paying in silvers. You throw copper at my feet.
Well, more than 0, I say.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get out of here.
Wait for you to stop talking.
I've already been walking away.
Ivan? You took time to run up to this sword in time for him to surrender to Wolfram. You got a stiletto.
Listen, friend, are you the kind to hold a grudge?
No.
This is all paycheck. It's just a paycheck.
Very well. I wish you luck, and then I'll go start. I'll just turn and walk away. I'll go get my blunderbuss. Any other weapons that were dropped on the ground.
Okay. So
I'll go get the.
You collect 2. You collect 1 arbalist crossbow, 2 stilettos, 2 mortuary swords.
Well, Wolfram,
Yes.
you had one of them.
Yeah, Wolfram has the other one. That counts as the 2.
Okay. I'll just write it down. You said an arbalist.
1 arbalist crossbow, and a quiver of 10 bolts if you want to count them.
Sure.
You got 2 stilettos, and you have 2 mortuary swords.
And then I'll also get that rod that I stuck in the spokes out.
Yeah, you take it out, and then you can proceed on that with that one.
Wolfram Lee should we should go and see if we can help Asher.
I'm very glad we used fake names for this.
Fuck.
So
Listen, I am. Yes, that is not my real name. My real name is a secret.
So the reeve on top of the cart with Asher, he sees the half-halfling crawl up the back and take a stab at him, which doesn't go so hot. He misses and hits the top of the cart, and the reeve pulls his stiletto and he'll from prone he's gonna take a very hard attack to try to cut Asher.
Look, Tavares, just give up.
That's crit fail.
Yes!
So he's going to take his peril, which, if I remember correctly and looking at his token, he already has peril. So that's more peril. So he becomes incapacitated.
Oh.
And he is going to... Yeah, he rolls off the wagon.
Jeez.
Tumbles on the ground a few times. And just bails.
Tavares, I've heard of falling off wagon, but I thought it was more figurative.
The driver does not seem to be none the wiser.
That dude is critically oblivious.
Asher, it is your turn.
I'm gonna go up behind that guy and stick my sword to the side of his neck and be like, "Look, you're all alone. I don't want to kill you, but they will."
So you're gonna kill the driver?
I'm going to intimidate the driver.
Oh, you're gonna intimidate him. You're gonna just put the sword up to his neck. Okay.
Yep.
Not in his neck.
Well, it depends on how his reaction to this intimidation.
He's helpless. He's driving. There isn't anything he can do. If you want to, you just spend the AP and you murder the driver. I'm not even going to make you roll for it.
Oh, I mean, it depends on if he resists this intimidate check or not.
Okay.
It's like, can I please voluntarily fail?
See this intimidate check.
Feel like crit succeed.
Alright, here we go. 26 out of 43.
So
Alright.
he lightens up on the reins. Yeah, you got the papers too, Chuck. I knew you grabbed those. When you were collecting everything else, I assume those were in there.
Yeah.
You get it there, and he kind of whoa, starts to slow the cart down. He goes, all right, look, this is a good paying job, but I don't want any trouble. Just here, you can have the manifesto, and the maester can take this up with you later.
Give me your shoes, too.
What do you want my shoes for? They're just riding boots.
Are you in the business of asking questions? Give me your shoes.
Alright, well, you gotta move that sword from my neck, though. I can't reach my boots to untie them with that sword up my neck.
I'll pull it back a little bit.
Alright, he leans down and he starts to take a moment to undo his shoes. He finally gets the boots off, sets them on the thing next to him.
Good.
You've
Get
got
off the
him.
cart.
You got him at spear point or dagger point or whatever you got at the moment. So, the two of you in the back cart. Who's driving?
Well, that's a good question. Do I have any skill in this? The answer's probably no. Nope.
I
That's an
don't.
asterisk. Yeah.
Is it
Well, since I don't know how to drive.
Yeah, it's drive.
Now it's a pretty easy road. The only problem is some assholes dug a bunch of potholes out in front of the cart. I don't know who those guys were. So once you get it past that, it'll be easy. But you do have to make the first check at a slightly more challenging.
Later, Animal G.
This is definitely you there, Wolfram, because my hold muscle.
Oh, he has pulled muscle. He can't drive. That's right.
Right.
He's injured.
I've
You
only
gotta
got a
do it, Wolfram.
29% chance and a flip to fail.
So let's go ahead and just make those checks to see if you get this wagon through there without busting it up.
I'm gonna kind of be stalling by looking around, make sure, clean up any evidence of a fight, any blood, any attacks that went errant, any of that sort of stuff.
His injury ain't gonna heal today.
I know. I'm waiting to see if our other buddy, Asher, comes back by and knows how to
Yeah,
drive.
you can't. That cart's long gone. You can't see it by now.
I know.
Okay, so you guys aren't gonna drive the cart. You're just gonna leave it there.
Just for a second here, for just a moment.
Yeah.
Let's look at those notes real quick.
Okay.
So,
So-
on these notes here, it says, what are they expecting? Do they know who's driving?
Does it say who is driving it?
No.
It is not listed, so we could say we are drivers.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess let's give this a go. It's never or never, I always
Yes.
say.
That is a statement you could certainly say.
Hey, you did it.
A 5.
Oh,
So you
wanna
you
put
get
that
it
to a
overall.
5?
You get it around your potholes and everything else, and as long as you take it real leisurely and slow, it's kind of like taking a 20. You can just you're past your own obstacle you made. So now you can drive. You just can't go fast.
Okay.
So you guys will, after a while, start to catch up, though, as Asher has stopped the other cart up ahead. So Asher, you have this driver now at weapon point. He's taken his boots off.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell him to get off the cart and start walking back to Treefell.
All the way back to Treefell. Can't I walk to Huttenberg? It's closer.
No, you can't walk to Huttenberg. That's probably where somebody is going to go.
All right, fine.
Tell you what, walk an hour towards Treefell, and then after an hour you can come back.
Fine, whatever.
And I'm going to keep his right boot, throw his left boot in the field nearby.
He gets down off of the cart. Yeah, you be nice to those mares. They're good
Well,
mares.
believe me, I would never mistreat a horse.
All right. You don't have to make a check because nobody dug a bunch of potholes in front of you. So you guys can.
I'll drive the cart a little bit to catch up with Loshad, and I'll tie Loshad to the back of the cart so I can drive it.
Now your horse is well trained. It follows you. It just couldn't keep up. So it hangs around when it's after you got it stopped. It's standing there doing its thing. So you get your horse all tied up and you start to move. And about that time, you see the wagon behind you has your other two compatriots on there behind you rolling up. Now,
Tavarishes, how are you doing?
you guys have gone far enough. You can start to see the city walls up ahead.
Let's get our story figured out. You're the smuggler amongst us.
There's two options for getting these carts through the guards without trouble. One, we could go up and lie. That is where our story is straight. Two, I go in ahead and I wait for you all to move up with the carts, and then I start fire somewhere, and the guards have to stop and go put out fire. When in doubt, that is Rule 15. When in doubt, start the fire.
This seems like a strange rule to me, but
Or we could just lie.
lying seems like the natural tendency. Less casualties, maybe.
Yes, let's lie then. We should also search the carts and clean up any blood or any signs of battle on the carts, because they will inspect them.
Yes, this is what I was attempting to do before you guilt tripped me into driving. But
Yes, I'm quite good at guilt tripping.
by the way, are you nearly well, it looks like you almost wounded yourself there.
Almost wounded myself. I almost died myself. It was very intense.
It came close.
Wait a minute, did you guys have a hard time with this situation?
Yes, we are all not you.
It's not our everyday breakfast of champions.
Oh, we need to teach you guys how to fight. I'm gonna clap Ivan on the back.
Oh my gosh, it drops me.
He's so injured.
Is there anything we could do to help him?
I will need to see a barber surgeon for this.
It's true. You can find one.
Here is another problem. I am very obviously injured. If I am afraid that I will be a source of suspect if I ride in on the carts with you two.
May also be suspicious if only two men are riding in two carts.
That could be.
You could just simply say we were attacked. Same as they would have said had they bested us.
That is
It's
a good
true.
idea. We will just say we were attacked and they will let us in. We will go get rid of these carts at the Prancing Horsey, or the no, it is the Hobbled Horsey.
Hmm?
And then I will go see Doctor.
Maybe we should tell them we weren't attacked on Mill Road, though, but a different road. We don't want the guards to go out looking for us and find the people that we jumped and left in the fields.
Either way, we get rid of the cart and we disappear for a few days.
Yeah, so where exactly is your injury on your character, by the way? Is it like somewhere we can hide it?
It's just a pulled muscle, so it's not, probably
It's not a visible
walking.
injury.
Yeah.
The visible parts is him bleeding all over himself from all those.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you probably are actually bleeding, aren't you?
Yeah, he was stabbing
I know.
at me, so yeah.
Well, I mean, you suffered an injury and you don't wear armor.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
You guys are going to have to do some emergency work on Ivan. There's a rule in Zweihander that if you don't wear armor and you suffer an injury, you start bleeding out, and you have your BB worth of rounds to get it staunched by using a bandage on a heal check. Actually, is it right that you don't have to roll for that check? You can just use
You
the
don't have
bandage,
to roll
right?
for it. It
Yeah.
just takes 3 AP to apply it.
Yeah. So and you have bandages on you. Somebody took them, right?
I don't have any.
I don't have any bandages.
None of you took bandages.
There are chaos bandages.
Yes. You
It's
can
a
use a chaos
bandage.
bandage.
That sounds like it's a good way to get over
A
it.
chaos bandage is literally just like ripping your sleeve off and wrapping it around the wound.
Ah, okay.
But it has a chaos die chance of causing infection.
Oh,
And all of
Yeah, I
this
don't-
probably had to take place before they met me on the cart, I would imagine.
Yeah, this would have taken place first. So you'll tear off a sleeve and wrap it around Chuck's leg where he was stabbed. And we'll
And I'll-
roll that D6 chaos die, Chuck.
You got it.
It is not infected.
Nice.
I'll be kind. I won't spend a misfortune to maximize it.
Appreciate that.
Well, this is game one. I can't have you down and out that much after one game. So,
Right.
So yeah, you go ahead and you do get him bandaged up, and he's not bleeding anymore. But yeah, he does have a bandage now that's soaked in blood. So it would be maybe a concern. You'd have to hide it in some
You
way.
have to smuggle your injuries in. And if they catch on, then we say we were jumped.
Or yes, that's fine. Let us do that.
Alright, I suspect this shall be easy unless they've warned them ahead of time.
And if they ask why we didn't bring injury up first, we could be like, oh, look, they threatened our families if we snitched.
That is true. Snitches get stitches. That is Rule 13.
All right, so you guys have your plan set. You come rolling up to the gatehouse, and you see a reeve come walking out and takes a look at the cart. You're running late. Sun's almost down. Manifesto.
Yes, here it is.
He's talking to Asher, who's on the first cart.
Okay, my
Of
bad.
course, Tovaris, of course. Apologies for our tardiness.
Where's your detail?
I didn't know it was this kind of cart. You mean like the sticker on the side?
No. One of ours was posted along with one of the mercs.
Oh, yeah, we were attacked on the road. We were the only ones who got away.
They didn't make it, huh?
Brutal, brutal bandits out there. You know those people that are like infected with the Treefeld virus.
It's too late at night to send a retrieval party out. We'll have to go for the bodies in the morning.
I'm afraid you won't find much. The one guy, all I have left of him is a boot, and I'll give him the right boot that I have.
Okay. Well,
genius.
it's unfortunate. Well, quick, get inside the walls before sundown. It's all kinds of unscrupulous characters. Your paperwork is got the seal of the Maester on it. Shouldn't be any problems. If you're unfamiliar, the Academy of Natural Philosophy is right down here, the main strip, about 5-6 blocks down. You can't miss it. It's the giant tower with the clock on top.
Spasiba. Spasiba, Tovaris.
He looks at the second one. Same with you, huh? Manifesto?
Here it is.
Yep. So I assume your detail fell as well?
That is true. And I am also injured. Do you know where a good barber surgeon is in town?
Yeah, Mortimer Mars. Down near the pub district. He's been barber surgeon for some time. Second generation barber surgeon, actually.
That is quite good. Family experience. It carries a lot of weight.
He should be able to patch you up.
I appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Alright, move on inside. We're gonna close the gates. It's getting dark.
Yeah.
So you
Glad
guys...
to be inside.
You guys make your way inside. Now you know that the Hobbled Horsey is not in the direction that they just pointed you to. It is, however, closer to where the barber shop is.
If they ask, we could say that our friend needs help urgently.
Yes, you were dropping me off at the barber shop on your way to the place.
All right. So you guys can easily make your way down there to the pub district. Your cart kind of sticks out a little bit. This is not an area where these kind of carts normally go, especially one that's carrying a seal of the maester on it. But you guys roll on down there into the pub district, and you find the Hobbled Horsey. It's a nice little hole in the wall type pub. Not very brightly lit. There's people standing out front. There's people walking up and down the streets going from pub to pub. You do see the stripe pole a little ways away that signifies the barber surgeon. Most people in Zweihander are considered to be illiterate, but they're considered to be functionally illiterate. So most signs are not worded signs, they're pictures. So the Hobbled Horsey's picture is of a hobbled horse. And they just call it the Hobbled Horsey. That's how people would recognize it. There might be, in some places, if there's enough education, if you have a dot in education, you're considered to be able to read. So there might be a sign that says Hobbled Horsey then on it, but most people would not be able to read. But you do see, you are able to find both the barber surgeons and the pub with no problem. It's just a matter of what you want to do first.
Well, Ivan, do you think you could survive until we get paid?
Yes. Also, I do not have enough money for barber surgeon, so let us go get paid first.
So you make
Could
your
we
way
take carts
to...
with us right to it, or should we put it outside somewhere and tell them where to find it?
We should park carts around back.
Very well. Let's put them back there, and then we'll go on site.
Yes. This is the thing we shall do.
Things are starting to pick up business-wise because the gates are getting ready to close. The factories and everything will be letting off work for the day. So the traffic's starting to pick up a bit in this area. You make your way into the pub, and you walk up to the bar.
Yep. Gonna order a dwarvin whiskey and a gin, please.
There you go.
All right. The bartender looks at you, and it's a dwarf. He cleaning a glass. Takes his little towel and whips it up over his shoulder. Turns around and says, "A dwarven whiskey. Good choice." Takes it down and pours one for you. And gin is a nice compliment. He takes it and pours it as well. He says, "Your company will meet you over there. Table 4 in the corner. Should be along any minute now."
Why, much obliged.
Your tab is already paid.
Thank you. All right.
Now, you know as a dwarf that nobody would follow dwarven whiskey with a gin. It would be the worst combination of drinks you could think to do back to back, so...
It's a good one. Yeah. Okay, I'll go sit over at the table, put my drinks out, kind of in a noticeable spot.
Alright, you don't have to sit for very long. As you look about at the other patrons, there's more people coming in and ordering. If any of you would like to make an easy eavesdrop.
I can
Hi,
do that.
Josie.
Eavesdrop is under perception.
I'll try it.
Hey, there's one. There's two.
Nice.
Hey!
And
we
3.
go.
We all got it.
Hey!
Now that we're in the social settings, everybody can roll like a champ.
There we
So-
go.
You're all hanging
Yes.
out there and waiting for your mark to come back to pay you, and you see a group of workers. They're covered in grime and dirty, and they're over there, and they've all ordered themselves a mead, and they're all sitting down, and you overhear them talking about a Jeremiah umbrage and organizing some labor for a strike. They're tired of the heat and the conditions, and just the other day, Ted down at the third line had one of those worms bust out of his stomach. They had to reset the days without incident thing back to 0. This is getting out of hand. They're not actually doing anything to solve the problem. It's like playing roulette. You just keep going until your number's pulled. But Jeremiah says if we organize, we can make demands.
Do you think they ever, thought about not having a day job and just being, criminals?
It is.
I'll whisper to our group.
It is. It is a nice life mostly, and usually less dangerous.
None of us have worms, as far as I know. Wait, do any of you have worms?
I don't think if I have worms that they are the murder kind.
I don't think I do, but you'd be surprised. Not very many people actually know what criminals do
Yes.
day to day. And, one of these days, maybe they'll learn.
There you go.
So after a bit of conversation and overhearing some of the banter by some of the workers coming in, you kind of hear the same thing over and over as other groups of workers kind of make their way into the pub. Eventually, you see a short, stout figure walk in with a hat kind of pulled down low. And it saunters over your direction and takes a seat at your table. Reaches and grabs the dwarven whiskey. Takes a sip. You hear a female dwarven voice from under the hat say, "Thank you for ordering my drink."
You're very welcome.
She reaches up with a bag of coins and sets it on the table. "This is for 10 cold crowns. 2 per member of your team."
Sounds quite good.
Very good.
Very generous.
Everything go without a hitch. I saw the wagons.
Yeah, they're around back. Depends on what you
They-
want to call a hitch.
That is true.
We can't leave them in this district long. You should come with me to my father's workshop.
Why?
Because if those carts stay out there long, all these workers are going to rob it. Don't you hear them?
Listen. I am not opposed to helping you, but just so we're clear, the job was retrieve 2 carts, bring them here, and receive 2 gold coins each.
Yes, you've done
And
so.
here are my 2 gold coins, and there's your carts.
I know, but I'm going to need you to help me get them to my father's workshop.
I'm not saying no, I'm just saying how much.
I don't have any more coin with me, but we'll pay you when we get there.
I think that's a fair deal.
We shall help you then. Let us go.
Come quickly. If they see the maester's mark on there, they'll riot.
Not much of a fan of him, eh?
He's the one who runs all the factories in town. He's got them
That
working
is-
extra shifts, trying to get everything done for the Emperor's landing.
He's not even deworming anyone.
Hurry, we must go.
Yes, let us go.
So she hops onto the cart with Asher, then you two man the second one.
Does she finish her drink?
She just took a drink of it.
She leaves it on the table. I'm finishing it.
She leaves it and the gin.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that gin.
All right, you take a drink of dwarven whiskey. It's not enough for intoxication rolls, so
That's good.
just as long as you just drink the one.
Yep.
All right, so yep, you take it. You take a drink. You go on out to the cart. You guys get up onto the carts and you travel back down through the pub district and into a little quieter area of town where there's a lot of shops and a lot of artisan work, and you see this kind of a rundown, like, if you didn't know any better, it would look like a machine shop. It looks like it might build like wagons or things there. You see what looks like wagon wheels and stuff like laying around out front. Like it's really kind of unkept. You see there's a fire plume coming out of the smoke plume coming out of the chimney, even though it's not that cold because it's summer.
Okay.
So you wheel down there and she wheels around to the back and she's got a couple of large tarps and she kind of throws them up over the wagons. You did quite well. We weren't expecting both carts, to be honest.
You asked us to get both.
You guys your reputation is well deserved.
This is true.
Quickly, let's come inside and speak with my father. I'm sure for what you've gathered for him, he'll be more than accommodable to pay you more. And she
Might be interesting to find out.
motions towards this little dwarven-sized like door on the back of this workshop.
Okay.
When we looked through the back and cleaned it all up, did we see what was in the cart, or is it all sealed
You
up?
guys never took time to look.
Okay. All right.
So you stroll on in, and you see when you get inside that there's papers lying everywhere, and there's things that look half-built. There's tools just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Half-eaten sandwich on a plate, with like some rat sitting there eating on it. You hear some grumbling coming from somewhere inside the place. The lady walks in and says, "Father, we're back." You hear the voice come from up at the front of the shop. It says, "Well, I'll tell you what right now, Jeannie. You better come back with all the goods that I need." "I did, Father. They did well. They came back with twice the load we expected. But I think they want some additional payment for helping get it here. You didn't come with me to drive the other cart." At about that time, you see wheeling out of the front of the shop towards the back is a dwarf. Kind of an older looking dwarf. He's got kind of gray hair. The first thing that you notice about him, Wolfram, is that he's shaved on his chin. He still has the big ham hocks, but the chin part is shaved, which you know for dwarves is kind of a sign of dishonor, like something has happened. The second thing you
Interestingly
notice
enough,
about
if you look
him,
at my character, I also have that for some reason. So
yeah, it fits.
yeah,
And so the second thing you notice about him is he is in some sort of wheelchair-like contraption. It looks as though he cannot move his legs, and he is wheeling himself with just his upper body in this sort of a wheelchair-looking device as he's wheeling himself around his shop.
okay.
The last thing you notice about him, and you don't have to make rolls for this, these are things that you would just notice about him, distinguishing marks, if you will, the moment that he rolls up, is that it looks like the lower part, and even part up on his upper torso, and some places where you can see it, have been burned.
Well, I see this is the man of the house. Hello?
Just gonna see if I can... Yeah, I can pull him up later. But, yeah. He, wheels forward and extends a partially burned hand. The scars are old, like it's not recent, but he
I'll give him
reaches up a hand to shake it.
Give him a nice, big, firm, brawny shake.
"My name's Halford. Halford Davison. And you've met my daughter, Jeannie. This is my shop. I, trust you've done well with the goods."
Well, they're here.
They are here and undisturbed.
"All the crates accounted for?"
Yes.
Good,
We
good,
didn't
good.
even peek at what it was.
Well, let's go see what all we've gained. I've only heard rumor that there's some sort of new mineral. Something that's extremely volatile. I need it for a fuel source. He starts wheeling towards the back. And you see that the younger female dwarf, she's got big, kind of dull green eyes, like unpolished emeralds, and she just kind of rolls her eyes a bit, and she's like, "Father's always off on his theories. I hope this is all worth it. He's putting everything on stake for this inventors competition." He wheels forward and takes out there. He goes, "Come on now, Jeannie. Get up there. Let's see what we paid for." She reaches up there and grabs crates. "Oh, these crates are heavy. Could one of you give me a hand with it?"
I will
I will.
grab the crate.
That's good. I am injured. I cannot help you with the heavy lifting.
So you get up there, Asher, and these are large crates, and they are dense. At least this one is, the first one that you pick up, and you lob it off the back, and it's almost hard for two of you to carry. Even you're kind of scooching it across the ground, and she gets a crowbar out and starts kind of pry barring on it, and you guys pop the top.
What are we smuggling in here? Bricks?
And, Halford, he rolls over. Nope. Those wouldn't be bricks there, my friend. He pulls it open. This is what all the commotion's about. He reaches down and he picks up what looks like a weird chunk of like a coal. It kind of has a shimmer to it. Make a scrutinize check. This is at standard.
All of us, or just him?
Asher at the moment. He's close enough to it.
Okay.
14 out of 43.
You notice that it kind of gleams green, and when you look close enough, it looks like it's steaming with a green sort of vapor that kind of comes off of it in places.
That is a very interesting rock.
Yep, the rumors are true. They've been mining this stuff out of Treefell ever since the calamity.
You think it's part of the meteorite?
Yeah, it could be. Never seen a meteorite. Hell, either way, that's what we needed you for. So take all the crates like this, throw them into the back. There's extra 5 silver in it for you all for your trouble.
This'll do.
Genie, go in and get the safe, pull out the coin, while these able-bodied young'uns here carry in our stuff.
Come on, Wolfram. Let's go move these crates.
So out of the first wagon, you find a couple of crates of those weird rocks, and you take those in and you set them down. Then the next crate in there is much longer and narrower.
Okay.
Like coffin shaped?
No, not quite that big. It's about 2 foot. It's about as long as the other crates were, but it's not square. It's more of a longer box.
We definitely gotta open that up.
Mr. Halford, do you need us to open this and see what's in here?
It's something different.
It's a different sized crate. I don't know what's in it.
All right, yeah, take a Genie. Where's that pry bar? Pry bar! He yells for her, and she comes rolling back out there with it, and starts prying and pops the top on it. You see, they peel back the top of the crate, and all of you who do not have any sort of resistance to peril of the gross Gore-Tex, if you don't have impervious mind or indifference, are going to have to make a standard resolve check.
Standard resolve check. Okay. It's been a rough day. Where's resolve? Power problem.
I fail by a lot.
No critical
me too.
fails, though.
We all fail.
Y'all take 9 peril.
Damn.
Where do we
Right.
mark peril on our sheet?
On the first
these
sheet.
skills and attributes, yeah.
So if you take 9, you compare it to that first box. And if it goes over that, then you look at the second one, which it most likely will not be bigger than the second one.
It's not bigger than the first box either.
Then you don't take any. You're fine.
Okay.
If your peril threshold basic is like a 9, then it's not bad enough to phase you.
I am now at ignore 1.
Okay.
Now ignore
You
this.
guys see a severed human-looking leg.
Oh, good grief.
And upon immediately you're repulsed by the stench of it, having been encased in this stuff. It's got some wrappings and other stuff there, and as you unwrap it and you realize what it is, and you see this severed leg, then you're like, oh, why would they be shipping a severed leg? And upon a closer inspection, you notice that it's got these small mushroom spores growing on it.
Oh, hell.
Oh no.
You were mentioning that orc mushroom crap before.
Make a folklore check.
Okay. Nope.
No, you guys are not. You're not familiar with whatever these must be. So Halford's like, "Oh man, now put the thing back on there. Put it back on. Oh, get that. Oh, you guys take that one back with you or something. Oh, that's not what I need.
Put that
No,
lid
we're
on
not
there.
we're not in the body disposal business.
Oh, great.
Yes, you got a cart. Here is your carts.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just let's get it inside.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take it down to the glue factory or something, but we don't deal with that.
We'll see
That's
what we can
good
do with
fire,
it later.
maybe.
In the meantime, get the rest of them crates out of here. The next crate you pull out of the first wagon. It's the last one in that wagon, and it's a much bigger crate than the others. It is kind of boxy square, and not as dense as the one with all the stones in it, but it is a bit larger. And Jeannie comes out with the pry bar and starts working at it and pops it open.
I'm gonna back away from it.
Yeah.
You guys will back away. You
I'll
pop
stay
it
up here
open
with
and
Jeannie.
you pop it open and you take a look and you pull back some of the packing stuff they've topped on top of it, and you are unsure what you're looking at. At first, you thought it was a spider the size of like a Great Dane. Its legs are in that spider-like position where there's several of them, and they seem like they're all almost curled in, except they're not jointed like a spider. They're kind of almost more like tentacles. And they're all turning in towards an abdomen that looks like it has multiple eyes, the way like maybe a spider would, but the eyes are all slitted. They're not like spider eyes. Whatever it is, it looks like a husk. Like something has shed its skin.
Well,
It's
that's
kind of
not good.
pinkish in color.
I would strongly recommend fire.
Yes, I'm starting to agree with that rule of the road. Maybe that forge fire over there would do the trick.
Starting to think maybe I should have just paid you to steal the crates in the back. Well, let's see what's in the other wagon.
What kind of inventor contests are you entering?
Well, the Emperor's coming to town to oversee the ceremonies for that dead doctor guy, Latronius. And when he comes to Huttenberg, it's customary. Huttenberg is the crown of innovation here in Valandria. It was our proud artisans who built the siege, defeated the orcs. So, when the Emperor returns, he's gonna want to see innovation. That's where me and Jeannie come in. This time we're gonna win, aren't we, Jeannie? Yeah, bravo Von Helfrick, and he hawks a loogie on the ground. He won't best us this time. We got his goods. He was gonna use this stuff to win. But now it's ours. Victory's ours, Jeannie.
Well, if the men on the road have spoken true words, they claim that the Magister will know who and where
Hogwash.
and when. So you're pretty clear that you're going to be able to hide the evidence that you stole it?
Yeah, just get it into the shop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're going to use all these parts anyway, right? Like, you're not making like a leg spider rock machine back there, right?
No, it doesn't need the rocks. I just thought there'd be more of them. What's in the second cart?
I'll take
Well,
one.
you know, just a dragon entrail and a mummy and
Did you check it?
No, No, of course not.
They're extrapolating.
Jeannie goes back there and they undo the second wagon. You find 2 more crates of the rocks.
What's in the rest?
A longer, bigger box. This one, Chuck, looks more coffinish.
Fuck. Yeah, I'll pass on that one.
I'll open it with Jeannie.
You pop it open,
I've had a pretty successful day.
and we're gonna need another one of them resolve checks for anyone who looks into the into it.
Not doing it. Seen enough death and dismemberment
We're
today.
just walking away.
Yeah. Wolfram's like, the hell with this.
Yeah, I'm following suit.
I succeeded.
Okay, you succeeded. You look down
Guys, this is really cool.
and you see what looks like a 20-something-year-old brunette woman. She's still in servant clothes, per se, down to her waistline. Upon which, from the waistline down, you can still see where they were once 2 legs, but they have merged together into one, down to the ankle, where her feet then turn outwards, and her toes and everything flare out with webbing, as though she is a mermaid.
Well, the suspense is killing me.
Her corpse looks like it's drying out, and like she's been dead maybe for a while. Kind of emaciated.
Guys, I found a box full of mermaid jerky.
How does
But-
it taste?
It would, if you were to look at it, you'd think it was a mermaid.
More fuel for the fire.
Mermaid. Wouldn't have thought those were real.
You didn't think they were either, but now that you're looking at one, well, you're not looking at one.
Mhm.
Although that kind of makes you want to look.
It does, yeah.
Alright, I am kind of curious.
Well, one thing that's weird is she is wearing clothes, so I don't think she started as a mermaid, but I think she's a mermaid now.
You telling me mermaids can't wear clothes?
I mean, they can, but it gets heavier, right? Like, nobody likes swimming in a robe.
Fair enough. Modesty and all, you know.
Well, quick, get it in before someone else sees it. We ain't got time for this sort of stuff.
Alright.
There's work to be done.
Fine, let's get it inside. What about the wagons themselves?
Take 'em up to the main strip, park 'em somewhere. They got the Maester's emblem on them, they'll find 'em soon enough. You don't want 'em found in this end of town.
Alright.
This is
You know
a lot
anything-
of asks.
In the meantime, Ginny, go get my book. He turns around and goes and wheels, and Ginny comes out with the bag of coin. Here's the bag of coins for the 3 of you. 5 silver each. And thank you
Thank you for
again.
your hospitality, Mr. Halpert.
You said it was 5 or 3?
5 each for 3 of you, so it's 15 total.
Great.
Now, if by chance you manage to get the rest of your party busted out of their predicament, we could perhaps use the assistance of your fence to perhaps move the rest of these wares.
We will let them know.
Odd set of wares, if you ask me. But
In the meantime, you're injured. You need to get back there to the barber surgeon before he closes.
This I will not argue with.
You go ahead and get to Barber Surgeon, and me and Wolfram will take these carts and ditch them somewhere.
Sounds like a plan.
And then we can meet back up at the Hobbled Horsey for drinks.
Sounds like a
good
great
idea.
plan.
All right, so you guys make your way. We'll do the barber scene first. Ditching the carts is not going to be a terribly big deal. The hardest part is just not getting hit by a bunch of angry workers on the way they're driving them. But For Ivan, you guys drop him off outside the barber surgeon, and you walk on in, and he's standing there,
Right back.
finishing cutting someone's hair. He looks up at you, says, "Oh." He goes, "Timothy, you don't mind? I look like I have a patient who's come in. He's and a little more need more than a haircut."
This is an accurate statement.
All right, well, let's take a look at it. What did you do?
I pulled a muscle as I was jumped by some bandits outside of town.
Ooh, bandits. That's terrible.
Yes, I have cuts, and I have it hurts when I move like this.
I see. All right, so, well, for immediate relief, I can give you a shot of tincture.
This would be acceptable.
That'll get you through a day.
Okay.
All right, so he administers a tincture.
Corruption!
But that does relieve you of your pulled muscle for the rest of the day.
Okay.
So, now let's go ahead and see about bandaging you up.
Sounds good to me.
And he successfully applies the bandages to you. They're honey-soaked. They're prepared properly, because he can't fail at that.
Yeah.
And he gets you wrapped up real good, and you heal 2 health levels, because that's what barber surgeons do.
Yes. That moves me back up to moderate.
So you're back to moderately wounded, and from him applying these honey-soaked bandages to you. And you can tell he's skilled and knows what he's doing.
Honey soap bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Says, didn't get a chance to get your name here, sir, but now that you're not bleeding to death all over my barber shop, my name is Mortimer Mars. Shakes your
It
hand.
is pleasant to meet you, Mortimer. My name is Franklin.
Franklin.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's a fine name. So, you were jumped by bandits, Franklin.
Yes, this is accurate.
Where are you from?
I am from here, I am from there.
Drifter.
I traveled, yes.
Well, better luck with the bandits next time.
Yes, next time I will run faster.
I've heard they've been increasing in numbers since the caravans from Treefell started up again.
Yes, they are. Where there is prey, you will find predators.
Indeed. It's a shame. I should have shut that
is.
village down a decade ago.
Yes, with all the foulness that happens.
Yeah. Well, you take care of this. And if it ain't better in a couple of days, you come back and I'll give you another tincture.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, he looks it over and he goes, alright, that'll be about 1 gold crown. I believe I'll settle this up.
Pay it.
Alright, you give him his gold crown. He thanks you.
Okay.
Alright, Timothy, let's get back to your haircut. He walks back over there to the guy sitting there and he resharpens up his shears and goes back to cutting hair. The two of you take the carts and you park them there, kind of inconspicuously uptown along the main strip, and you bail on them. And it'll be a pretty easy stealth check to just not be noticed by anyone well enough that anyone can pin you on it later. You're going to do it no problem. This is a fail forward.
Stealth, you said?
Alright, well, we're going to fail
Failed forward, in fact.
My stealth. I succeeded.
Alright, so you got out of there feeling pretty good, Asher. Falzram, you bumped into somebody getting down off the cart, and they turned and excused themselves for bumping into you, and they got a good look at you, and you're just not... You feel like shit. Like, if this comes up later, and the Inquisitors start asking, like someone saw me, so you're going to take some peril.
Great.
You take 6.
So if it doesn't exceed the threshold, nothing
You're
happens?
fine. Yep, it's not enough. You're only 1d10 is the equivalent of fear, so you feel fear come over you, but it doesn't do anything to you. You wash it away, and you're like, nope, we did it. We're fine. We got out of here.
And also, am I still under the effect of those intimidates from earlier, or did those go away?
You are. You have not rested, and you have not taken any smelling salts to reduce your peril level. Now, if any of you check your talents and trappings and see that you have smelling salts, you can take one.
I don't. I've got mandrake root.
I think you got devilweed.
I don't.
You don't have devilweed either?
I've got mandrake root.
I've got mushrooms. I could probably get you high.
Those are red cap
you
mushrooms.
go.
You do not want to give him the red cap mushrooms. Those are the opposite of high. Those are like bad trip, like angry.
Now I kind of want to give him some.
Well, you don't have any on you, but you could easily go anywhere in some of the maybe the slummier parts of town and probably find somebody who could hook you up with some smelling salts if you needed it.
Well, I dropped it off. It doesn't, probably didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but nearly perfect.
You didn't get made, did you?
Well, one guy, he bumped into me, said, excuse me, sir, excuse you, sir, excuse me, sir, excuse you, sir. We did that a few times around, and I don't know.
Wolfram, there is a reason everybody but you wears a headband instead of a hat. It's so we can pull it down over our face so nobody knows who we are.
But it makes more sense with a mask. I've got an eye patch. It's hard to wear a bandana and an eye patch.
Alright, so maybe next time we take other people out to do the sneaky stuff.
It apparently would be a good idea, even though my stats say otherwise.
You ready to go get a drink?
Oh, yes, of course. That sounds great.
All right, you make your way down to the Hobbled Horsey.
I'll meet him there.
You guys go back to your table.
Once we get in our booth here,
You guys
I hand
slide in.
each of you guys a gold crown.
Well, here you are. Won't be doing me any good. Sworn off this stuff.
You sworn off money.
Not all of it, but certainly gold. Don't want it going to my head.
Do you want me to buy you a drink?
If it's what you like to do with your wealth, be my guest.
I would buy all three of us a drink.
All right, you buy
This is
her.
appreciated.
To commemorate our glorious victory over the reeves today.
There you go.
I had a wonderful day. You guys missed it. I jumped off of my horse and landed on a cart.
Oh, that would have been magnificent.
And nobody had to
everyday
die
goods
for me to get my cart.
That is true.
Yeah, that was much better than what we had to deal with.
You
Well, I
guys
guess
see
it's-
sitting over in the corner by himself. You see a man in some sort of dark clothing. He's got a hat on as well. He's got a dwarven whiskey sitting in front of him, but he's human.
Okay.
Is that abnormal?
Did you hear the question, Dustin?
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh, I said, is that abnormal in this world?
You know that most humans don't really have a stomach for the dwarven whiskeys.
Well,
That's a tough sort.
apparently so. Guess we'll, see what he's about.
Does he keep an eye on us, or
He seems to casually look at different tables at the bar.
Does he have a gin with him?
He does not at the moment,
Okay.
but he's not touching his drink either.
that one looks like trouble?
Might be. Are there any other dwarves about?
Take a look. Any dwarves?
Yeah, there's a
Sounds
couple here and
bartender.
there. You guys are a minority of a minority, but Huttenberg has You're not like the smallest minority. There's a lot of gnomes and dwarves come here because it is so well known for its tradecraft. So it kind of draws some of your people here who are lean more into the trade crafting part of your heritage.
Okay. Anyone giving him any particular notice besides us?
No, they all seem to be giving him space.
Space. Okay.
Well, we did overhear that earlier rumor. Maybe he's got the worms. He's trying to burn it out with the whiskey.
Maybe.
Well, if he's got the worms, he could stay over there.
Yes, him and his worms stay very far away from us.
Does he look unwell?
No, he looks fine. For what little you can see of him, the hat kind of obscures his eyes a bit, but you can see the detail of a very short beard, very short, like Jeff level beard.
Is it like a foppish hat, like kind of what our friend Wolfram is wearing, or is it something?
No, it's much more of a.
Is it a job hat, like a cowboy hat?
Yeah, a little more closer to cowboy hat. Maybe it almost may be closer to like a pilgrim hat, only without the buckle. Just kind of a.
That feels like an Inquisitor hat to me.
It could a little bit, but that's not exactly getting that vibe from him completely, but it could be.
Well, if you are thinking Inquisitor, then I think we should have our drinks and then move on.
The bartender comes over and sets down 3 glasses.
Hey, my good man, do you know that guy over there?
Yes, he just purchased these for you. He said a gin to each of you.
So he's got the dwarven whiskey, and he just gave all of us the gin. Do you think maybe he wants to talk to us?
He didn't say. He just told me to deliver these and he paid. So here's your gins. Enjoy.
Well, I am not one for long-standing mysteries. I say we just go talk to him.
Might as well.
You guys are the boss. I'm just here to punch people.
Yeah,
This goes terribly with my drink, by the way.
I'll grab the gin and I'll head over to that table.
Alright, you head over to the table. And
No, Wolfram, if you had another drink, it wouldn't go bad. Just have a couple more, and you'll be all right.
He motions to the chairs there at his table. You all
I'll
take a seat.
Здравствуй вечер, товарищ. How are you?
Welcome. My name is Marcus Wilde.
Marcus Wilde.
Marcus, it is greetings to meet you.
I'm here on behalf of my employer,
Who is your employer?
an elf by the name of Alexi Arkwright.
An elf by the name of Alexi Arkwright?
Arkwright.
And what is your employer's interest in us?
He had hired a team for something. And they came back empty-handed today, because someone else beat them to the mark.
So, your employer hired the team to claim something, but they could not claim it because someone claimed it before them.
That's right.
Sounds like a bad day.
And then
It certainly does.
Then they traced the thing that was supposed to take back to here. Back to your table.
Sounds like a lot like an elf to have a lack of initiative.
So, what is it you are proposing?
There were items of interest upon the wagons.
Yes.
My employer would like to meet with whoever you fenced him to. I'd like to make an offer for the contents of the second wagon. The first one has little concern for.
So, you want the contents of the second wagon,
He does.
and you're willing to pay.
My employer is willing to pay.
How much?
That'd be between him and your mark.
So you're
Can you
just asking
speak?
us to...
Can you speak for your mark?
Yes.
We could. Listen, I
Then
cannot
how
tell
about you
who
arrange a meeting?
This could be done. Name your place and time.
This pub is probably not big enough.
Is your employer, is this a very tall elf?
No, he's not tall.
Then why is this pub not big enough?
Everyone's too crowded together to
Yes,
discuss
this-
the contents of those boxes. I assume you did not open them.
I did not open them, no. So,
Go back
Where
to
and
your
when?
mark. Tell him that Alexei Arkwright request his attendance. Oh, where should we put it? At the old public well. The well's been dry. Nobody down there pays attention to what anyone else is doing. You could be stabbed in broad daylight. Nobody would pay a second look.
alright, when?
Tomorrow at sundown. You all will serve as an intermediary between my employer and your mark. I assume that you can thus broker the deal. You've done so well this far.
We could definitely talk about this. If we do help your employer gain those items, what kind of financial compensation shall we receive?
That'll all be part of the negotiations at the time. Just make the meeting happen.
Very well.
Seems like a strange deal to make. We give you something of value, potential information, liaison, that sort of thing, and we get nothing?
So, was there a question?
More of a declaration. It seems like a bad deal.
Bad deal for who? You're gonna get paid again.
Potentially.
My employer gets the items he needs. Your mark perhaps retains most of the items he needs. I don't really see the downside of this, dwarf.
Well, there's a lot of assumptions being made here. You want information that you don't currently have, connections you don't currently know how to obtain, and that portion has value.
It's only a matter of time before the Maester's men come looking.
Changes nothing, either way.
If our team spotted you, what makes you think his people didn't?
Again, what changes? If he's made us, he's made us. Whether it's you and him, or just him.
All I'm saying is, it would be best to not be associated with all of the loot. It's one thing to have picked up a crate of something. There's enough people around here who will move goods they shouldn't even own. But having every single piece of it under one roof, there's no denying it then.
It's a good thing it's not under my roof.
Indeed. No one's asking you to take it home with you either. Just arrange a meeting.
Well,
This
shall we
can't
talk it
possibly
over?
be the worst thing you've ever been asked to do. Well, you did send a couple of men home to their widows today.
Well, I'm okay doing this.
Alright then. We have a deal. Go back to your mark. We meet tomorrow at the old public well. Sundown.
Very well.
You got it, Spooky.
He stands up from the table and leaves a couple coins tipped for the bartender and walks out the front door.
Assume he didn't drink his drink.
No, he did not drink his drink.
That was a power play. He wanted us to know that he knew what we knew.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He saw you, and I'm gonna smack Wolfram in the arm.
Well, perhaps. Got
Now-
free beer out of it.
You don't have to go back immediately. You are in a pub. This gives you the opportunity to partake in enough drinks to reduce your peril,
Okay.
at the risk of intoxication, which will give you corruption.
This is a risk that I think I'm willing to take.
So
Might
for
as
those of
well.
you with some peril, it'll take you a few drinks. So we'll say that you throw down a solid, 5 brass pennies or so for a couple of just stiff drinks.
Mm.
And then you'll have to make a routine toughness check, as long as you're sticking to mead. If you start drinking anything heavier than that, you go to spirits or anything heavier, then we gotta up that difficulty, but it will reduce your peril.
I will just stick with mead.
Alright then. So go ahead and give me a toughness check at routine if you're drinking to not quite sobriety.
All right.
I don't have any peril, so I'm not going to happily drink, but I will.
That's fine. Oh, look at that critical fail!
He's shit-faced.
Alright, you do reduce your peril, Chuck. You reduce your mental
Wow.
peril. And, alright, so you didn't
Yeah, they were
you didn't
both
make
drunk.
it either. So you didn't critically fail. So you will reduce 1 level of peril each for taking the drinks. You will both take 3 corruption for getting drunk.
It's a good night.
And then Chuck, however, gets so sick he takes physical peril instead.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh my god, 22!
What?
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yahtzee that one.
Double tens?
So, all the
Puked up your
anxiety,
guts.
all the anxiety that Ivan had, he just starts downing some drinks. More than he should. You're trying to stop him, but he just goes too far. And maybe it's the blood loss, maybe it's something else, but next thing you know, he is running out the back of the Hobbled Horsey and just blowing chunks all over the cobblestone in the back.
I would like to point out that that only moved me down to ignore 3.
He's not incapacitated. He's still staggering around, but he's up.
Man.
Oh boy, he's had a little bit much to drink.
Sounds like it's
Uh,
time to go meet the mark while you still
Also, that did give me a chaos rank.
can. Yeah, probably did. You ought to be way
Yeah.
over it by now, shouldn't you?
Well, that would have taken me up to 13 for the night.
Yeah. Once you cross 10,
So-
you get an automatic chaos rank, and then we'll roll to see if you get a second one here at the end of the session.
Yeah, so I got myself
Dang
down with
on.
3 corruption,
Now,
1 chaos rank.
there is people there who have other things. If you'd like an inebriant or something to reduce peril, they would gladly give you something for your upset stomach.
I'm good.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. Sure.
All right, so they hand you something, and it does the trick. It's not exactly apothecary level stuff, but it's good. And it settles your stomach, and it'll cost you
Good.
1 more corruption.
Oh, all right.
It's nothing too bad, but it will keep you from horking all over the place again.
All right, cool.
So you
Are you
get a
feeling
little
better?
something, and they will send you on your way.
That's great.
So, since we're making lots of bad decisions tonight, was I wrong in thinking that was a bum deal?
We don't know yet. It might be tomorrow. Maybe they pay us a lot. Maybe they pay us a little. Maybe, our Mark does not want to sell the second cart.
Or maybe he was fishing.
Yes, you think maybe they follow us back?
We don't know who they are.
I think you should all attempt some stealth checks.
Sure.
Because we're so good at this.
I mean,
I
Is
should
it-
be good at it.
If you're worried
Difficulty?
about being followed, stealth is how you fix it.
That's true.
Really? I missed by 4?
Yeah, you're not being
Is it
stealthy
standard?
enough.
I made it by 4.
Asher's
This is
stealthy
ridiculous.
enough.
This is ridiculous.
He cannot do wrong today. Asher is on
cannot.
fire.
Ah,
Yeah, Chuck's doing all right, but somehow the socialite just can't stay hidden.
nope, I like to be seen, apparently.
He just
I
likes
gotta
to be
pop
seen.
the
that-
top.
That hat. It's got to be the hat.
It's the
It's
hat.
the
I got
hat.
the ruffled neck thing.
The neck
Yeah.
ruff. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
so you guys aren't sure if you're being followed. You don't notice anyone following you, but there's a lot of people standing around on corners, and some are maybe prostitutes. Others are perhaps dealers. Like, it's hard to tell for sure. Huttenberg seems to have a fair amount of all of it. You make your way back down there to the sort of rundown shop, and as you walk up, you can already hear his gruffled voice yelling at Jeannie. No, the other one. I'll tell you what, Jeannie, you can't just be like that all the time. Here's this ranch, this one here. Oh, I wish I could get down there and just do it myself. Sorry, Father, sorry. I'll get it right this time. You hear some tink, 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 cronk, cronk, cronk going on.
I'll give a knock.
All right, let's do it.
You hear scuffling and quick, throw the tarp over. Who's there?
It is the people who delivered your goods.
What are you doing back here?
Standing right now.
Well, I'll tell you. Opens the door. Crack. Looks at it. We already paid you.
You did. This is true. But after leaving here, we were approached by a person who is interested in buying the contents of the second wagon from you.
Second wagon.
That
That's
was
the weird fish lady.
Yeah.
Mermaid one. Yeah, yeah.
Gross
Yes.
things, yes.
And 2 of these crates of the shiny stuff, right?
Yes.
That was it. That was what was in the crate, but I imagine he only wants the mermaid.
Yes. He only wants the macabre items.
Okay. Who is this guy?
I do not know the name of the person we talked to, but they work for an elf by the name of Alexi
He
Arkwright.
slams the door in your face. Tell him I'm not interested.
That is quite rude.
But why?
Well, he did say he was in competition with the man.
But he's not in competition with Alexi Arkwright. And though maybe they are.
No, I believe that's the man that he said he was in competition with. Unless my memory is completely faulty as a player. And it is.
Nope, he was talking about not losing again to Bravo von Helfrich.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that name. I'm drunk. Don't worry about me.
You are very drunk.
All right.
Very dwarf. Yes.
I will knock on the door again.
You knock on the door again. This time the door opens, it's Jeannie. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that the father won't move from his position on this.
Listen, you do not want the items in the second wagon. We have someone who's willing to pay money. You get some money, we get some money.
Here, come quickly, step inside.
Yes.
And you hear the old man up front, he's grumbling. Jeannie walks over to one area on the wall next to where there's a bunch of stuff all piled up, and she kind of shoves some stuff aside. You see a framed picture hanging up on the wall. Looks like an old picture. This was my father here. You see a younger dwarf with a full beard. This elf right here. That's Alexi Arkwright. And this other
Okay.
one here, this elf. That's Bravo von Helfrich. You see that they're under a sign that says the Huttenberg Academy of Natural Philosophy. When they opened up the academy, they took a first class of would-be philosophers. My father, Alexei, and Brahma von Hilfrich were all amongst them. That was when the Orcs Wars were happening, when they were looking for answers on how to cure it. It was Brahma von Hilfrich who eventually discovered quintessence. It's how he became a maester, to gain the ear of the Emperor.
Hmm.
Of
So,
course, the recipe made him famous. In the meantime, however, my father and his partner, Alexei Arkwright, they had drawn up some rather fantastic designs for potential weapons of war to use against the orcs. But, Father blames Alexei for the accident. Took his legs and burned most of his body. But
That's
ever since
too bad.
then, my father has not been able to replicate Alexei's formulas. Though they both blame each other, they were both ousted from the academy and have both gone their own ways since.
that is a very sad story. But our concern right now is the content of the second wagon.
Understood. But it'll be hard-pressed to get my father to go meet with Alexei.
Well, does he want the contents of those boxes or not?
No, he's no interest in them at all. We barely have room to even put them around here. Look, we had to stand the mermaid up in the corner. You see the coffin's like leaning up in a corner, like the thing's been rebolted onto it so it's closed, but like it's literally just standing there in the corner, clearly visible.
You want us to just like take it now, and we could do the trade ourselves?
Well, I don't know. Father paid good money for them.
Listen,
How
we
about-
take the...
How about I go as the mark? Alexei isn't aware that my father's the one who purchased them, right?
I do not believe so, no.
I was only a young girl the last time Alexei saw me. He wouldn't even recognize me now.
Very good. I think we have planned. Let us do that.
I've got access to the safe. Tell you what. Go get a cart. Whatever it costs you, I'll pay you out of whatever they pay us. Get a cart, come back here tomorrow, and we'll go meet with Alexei Arkwright. My father
Very
won't
good.
have to be any the wiser. I'll tell him I'm going to market.
All right. This works for me.
Works for me.
Alright. And that is
Sure,
where we're
why
going to
not?
wrap for the night.
Right on. This is where we determine we don't have enough money to buy a cart.
Uh-huh.
This is where
We
you
got
may
no
have
matter
to
what.
steal again next game.
Third
Well,
cart.
that was my thought. She's like, go buy a cart.
All right.
I'm like, I'll go ask what it costs to buy a cart, and then I'll just go steal it.
Now, we have another item of business we have to take care of. If the first thing you do in every Zweihander game is roll initiative, and that initiative stays for the whole game, no matter how many times you get in and out of combat or in and out of scenes, the first and foremost thing that you got to deal with is rolling initiative. The last thing you do every session as Zweihander is you have to roll for corruption.
Corruption.
So here's how that works. As GM, I roll a single D10.
Okay.
And that's a 6. Now, if you're Ivan, how much corruption did you have for the day?
My grand total was 14, but right now I'm setting at 4 since it rolled over.
Right. So every time you pass 10, you gain 1 chaos rank, and you have to fill in one of those dots where it says, if you look at your alignment, your chaos alignment's on one side, your order alignment's on the other. You have to fill in a dot every time you pass 10 in the same session. So if you hit 20, you have to fill in 2. If you hit 30, you have to fill in 3. And
Okay.
then we roll at the end of the night, and you check versus the remainder. So after you take away the 10s, he's got 4 left. I rolled a 6. I did not roll underneath what he has left. So Chuck just sticks with his 1 chaos rank for the night, and he's done. Now, the rest of you did not have 10, did you?
No, I had 9.
You had 9.
At 0.
0. Okay, Asher has 0. He can't possibly get a chaos rank. He's going to gain an order rank.
Look at you, all order like.
Now, I rolled underneath Jeff's 9, so Jeff gains a chaos rank.
Okay. My corruption, I assume, goes to 0?
All corruption then goes back to 0 for next session.
Okay. All right. Chaos ranks.
There we go.
Now, whenever your chaos ranks reach 10, you get a derangement or some manner of disorder. It can be physical. You can have sprout a tentacle. You can become a raging alcoholic, or be some martyr who's willing to heroically martyr himself for any cause he comes across. There's a whole list of cool stuff we can do when you hit 10.
All right.
On the contrary, if you get up to 10 order ranks, you get a mystical, magical fate point to save your character's life with.
That's pretty handy.
That's
Not too
brilliant.
shabby.
In the meantime, if you have more chaos ranks than order ranks, you're considered chaos aligned for the purposes of social settings, which may come up more next game.
Probably so.
And if you have more order ranks, then you're considered order aligned. And if you're even, you're considered neutral. And
Okay.
those will actually create modifiers to social roles between characters. So
Sounds good.
that's kind of your introduction game to Zweihander for 2 of you, at least tonight.
Yeah. One of these days
we're going to go
we will
ahead
roll
and
well.
start with some of our outros here before I hit the actual outro. So, Chuck, why don't you remind everyone again who you are and where they can find you?
Yes, Chuck, Defenders of Cobalt. You can find us at Twitch, twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt, or you can follow me on Twitter. We're at Cobalt Defenders. Actual play, tabletop game, stream thing. We run Mutant Crawl Classics, Dark Trails, Dungeon Crawl Classics, 5th edition, Zweihander. We try to play a lot of everything.
All right. And, Alex, why don't you go next?
Yeah, so I'm the DM for the Titan City Chronicles over at the Untold Stories Project. You can see us on Tuesday nights at twitch.tv/Untold Stories Projects. And if you're interested in picking up any of my books, the first one's The Magician's Sin. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold.
All right.
I got a
Jeff,
copy the other day.
why don't you bring us home?
All right. Well, we are Tabletop to Keyboard, this channel you're hanging out with. We got all kinds of stuff we do on the weekly. So we do, starting off on Monday nights, we do the Wisdom Check. That's where we do a talk show, Dustin and I. We talk about gaming-related materials typically, sometimes art, sometimes hobbies and stuff related. But we bring on guests, and this week we are bringing on a guest who is going to be talking about a pirate-themed funnel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're talking to the guys with Salty Funnel, Chuck. You know them.
Sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of the other gentlemen here, besides Dustin, have been past guests on our show. So if you want to check that out, we have all of our back content up on YouTube. I'll go ahead and link that for you real quick as well. Tuesday nights, we have a show called Bardic Knowledge, and that is a show that our buddy Cameron runs, where he makes music for tabletop role-playing games or just other things we're doing on the website. So you get to go
Including
through.
almost all the music and stuff you heard on Horror and Huttenberg today.
That's
Came from
right.
Cameron.
And he goes through, he talks about music theory a little bit, he shows you the process of putting together the music, and you get to go ahead and kind of give him some feedback as it kind of goes. So that's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time. It's pretty awesome. I didn't say earlier, 10 p.m. was the time for the Wisdom Check. So
That's right.
check that out.
All-time
Wednesday
Central.
night, that's right. All these are going to be Central Time. Wednesday night is typically Pathfinder 2. We are currently on a little bit of a break as I put together a homebrew campaign to replace our crazy module that we were doing. And so I'm putting together some maps. We're getting some characters written up. I think this week I'm going to take the day off on Wednesday just because if I didn't, I'd be streaming every day for 2 weeks straight. And that may be a little excessive for me. So one more day we'll have off this Wednesday. But Thursday, we're going to play some games online, and we're probably going to be playing 7 Days to Die. So you get on there. Sometimes we do crazy voices. We have a lot of fun flipping back and forth between the guys' different viewpoints and seeing the zombies eat us. And there's probably a new patch coming out that's going to be radically changing the gameplay, so we're looking forward to that. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that happens Friday.
Everstorm, because we play a day
This
early
Friday.
this week.
That's
So-
what I thought.
our 5e Everstorm game, instead of being every other Saturday, this week it moved up to Friday so we can avoid the holiday. It's the 4th of July on Saturday, so we're playing on the 3rd on Friday. So Friday night, 10 p.m., Everstorm will return for Game 11, which I don't think Levi has actually named yet.
Yeah.
It might be Hide and
we
Seek
had
Part 2, because I don't think Hide and Seek was the actual name of the last episode, so we'll see. But
Yeah, last week was crazy. You had
It was
2
crazy.
ballrooms. It was nuts. And let's see. And then, of course, Saturday as another day, normally would be the Everstorm.
normally it would be Everstorm.
And then Sunday, every other Sunday, is going to be us here, right?
Yep, and we're back in 2 weeks. And we will have Lindy with us, picking up her character, Ravit, and Hope will be with us with Greta, who is the fence, an ogre fence, and they'll be back in those fantastic little boxes right there where we have those little pumping hearts going.
That's right.
And
This
we
was one
will
of
we'll catch you all here in a couple weeks. In the meantime, we're gonna go raid us some spooky sprinkles because they're talking dragons, getting ready for the Grouch Couch's Drunks and Dragons tonight. So we're gonna raid Spooky, and then short order she's gonna raid you over to them. So here we go.
Cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate the time. Had fun.
Yeah.